everybody to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All, the show for Panther fans by Panther fans. I am your host, Cody Lashley, back at you once again with the show where you are the show. If you would like to join, the link is in the description down below. Uh, Everybody mute your microphone if you're not talking. There's already some fucking crazy static and shit. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and if you would like to join, the link to the Streamyard is in the chat room, and it is in the description box below the YouTube and Facebook videos. Gentlemen, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's roll. First up, you already know many of the boys joining us here today. First up, the stat daddy, the bat daddy, the best damn beard in all of Panther football. It's my man, Greg. Greg, what's up, dude?
What's going on, buddy, man? I am ready to talk Panthers football. We've got a lot to cover here because there's a lot going on in Carolina. Like, I don't know where we're at known for and going into this game with Detroit, but there's a lot to cover. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me, and let's get going.
As always, man, you know it. I was telling you before the show, I don't know if there's ever been a bleaker time in Panthers history. I mean, I feel like other people can argue some earlier years, but I don't know if I believe it, if I'm being honest. Anyway, man, next up, you know him, you love him. He might tell you to shut the hell up. Hopefully he won't to me today. It's my man, Panther Pickle. Pickle, how are you, buddy?
Screw it, man. David Tepper, shut the hell up.
There you go.
Scott Fitterer, go back to Seattle, dude. I mean, you know what? You were by far, a Panther Nation was a better team before your funky ass got here.
That's right.
All right,
it
that's
definitely
just fact. Okay. And David Tepper, to be honest, you can go back to Pittsburgh. All right, you really can pack your shit up and go to fuck on.
I don't think he will, Pickle.
Yeah, and well, you know what? And Frank Wright.
Oh,
I don't know where you'd tell you go back. You ain't really front. You know what? I don't really give it to him. Go somewhere else. How's that? Go to bumfuck Egypt.
You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell up out of here. Just
That's right.
That, man.
That's right.
Just tell him that, man. I hear you. I hear you. Next up, this man flies the flag of the C3 brand far and wide. That's why we call him the brand ambassador. It's my homie Don D's Ill Skills. What's up, baby?
Dearly beloved, the C3 family has gathered here today in the year of 20C3 to lay to rest the 2023 Carolina Panthers. We will all dearly miss this team. Not really, most of us hate them, but that's okay. There are lessons to be learned in times of hardship, friends. Look to my friend Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen doesn't have great speed. He doesn't have great strength. He's old. His agility is not what it used to be, and yet he keeps pounding. He's working hard out there. He's overachieved numbers that we didn't think he would even make this season from the way that people talked, and all the haters, he shut them out, and the people that are out to put him down and hurt him, and he's not as near as fast as a lot of other players on the team like Terrence Marshall. He wasn't blessed with those God-given abilities, but yet he keeps pounding, and that's the same thing C3 does on Friday. Let's go, guys.
Let's go, man. Hey, Don always brings the energy that I need to get me going for a free-for-all, baby. You know I love it. Next up, I'm going to go to my man, Michael Wydrick. Michael, what's up, dude? How are you, man?
What's up, guys? How you feeling this evening?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, but yeah, once we get into the show, I believe that there's going to be some stuff talked about. And honestly, I hope things come out for the greater good, hopefully.
Same, man. I think we're all hoping that. Sadly, Michael, I don't somehow think it will. But
yeah, I'm just saying.
Man, listen, that's what C3 family is here for, man.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have to suffer the Carolina Panthers in silence by yourself. You can do it with us, man, right here on the C3 Friday Free For All. Next up, this man has been basically my protege, man. Whenever I need somebody to fill in or step up, I go to this guy right here. He's in Charlotte with me. It's my dog Anthony. Anthony, what's up, boy?
What's going on, my brother? Man, I'm just numb. Like I don't know what to say anymore. After watching that game last night, embarrassing. Just absolutely.
It's like twisting the knife, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get into it, but I'm just gonna say right now, we should have traded Brian Burns instead of DJ Moore, but I don't care. That's gonna piss a lot of people off. But I'm done with this bullshit. Get Scott Fitter out of here. We need to start building something. It just feels like we're in la la land, and we have no direction of where to go. Yeah, not much else to say, man. Just very, very disappointed. Yeah, but I'm here, man. So make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. This is the best Panther podcast on the internet. You already know, man. No one else does a Friday free for all. So this is honestly what I look forward to more than the Panthers games at this point. So I'm happy to be here, man.
I look forward to having you, man. I look forward to having all of you. Y'all make this show what it is every Friday, man. I couldn't do it without y'all. Next up, my man is in enemy territory. He's down there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That may or may not be where my people are from. It's the homie Chad. Chad, what's up, dude?
I hate everything. I am like literally, guys. Like, here, hang on. I'm gonna fucking show my face. Hang on. Fucking over here playing that. I'm probably one of the most optimistic people you'll ever meet in your life, and I'm done. I'm done. I hate everything. 20 years of being a fan of this team, and I hate that I'm gonna like Diesel skills fucking killed it with all this optimism and positivity. I am so sorry, bro. In 20 years, I've never been this heartbroken, like ever. I have never been this let down as a fan to the Carolina Panthers, and I don't know, like. I don't know, man.
Brothers in arms, man.
Talking about it.
We're here for you, Chad. That's what I'm saying, man. We don't have to suffer by ourselves. We can do it together, man.
Hey, and one thing that I want to shout out to Panther Nation. I do live in Baton Rouge, but if I went to a Panther game, I would start wearing a paper bag over my head. So if anybody that's going to a game that's watching this podcast right now, I'd start bringing out the paper bag.
I'm doing that for the Texans game. There's no doubt about it. I do not care anymore. But I'm right there with you, Chad.
This team, man.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's just all right. I'll let you introduce everyone else.
No, you're good, bro. I was just like DJ Moore, like DJ Moore's going off. Baker Mayfield.
We're getting into it. We're going to get into it. Yeah.
That's literally what we're talking about today. That is the crux of today's show. So hold on to that for one more second. Next up, I just had Wes. There he is. It's a Kid Rock's younger brother, and he has the best voice in all the Panther fandom because he has 10 different voices. It's the homie Wes Justin. What's up, Wes?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, baby boy. How you doing, man?
Y'all still got some faith or no? Sorry, this man.
Hell no.
Oh, Daddy.
No. Oh.
Daddy, chill.
There's no faith.
What the hell is even that?
Yeah, that man, my man got the soundboard on lock. No, that's dope. No, we appreciate you and your cool cat. It looks like a cat there or something.
Yeah. Simba, yeah, his name is Simba. You know, we might as well put him on the field at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Straight up, man. You're not even wrong. Next up, Chad, you were saying bags over your head. This man has already broken out the bag to put over his head, and he did it on the 704 Charlotte Bound Show that you can find right there on YouTube. There it is. There it is. He broke out the bag. Damn, Twan's big sad, bro. He got the bag on, man. Damn, Twan, you look rough right now, bro. Twan, you look rough right now, bro.
This is not Twan, man. This is Tony.
Oh, my bad, Tony. I didn't recognize you, bro.
I don't associate with this team, man.
I hear you, man. Well, we're going to not associate with this team together. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. Gentlemen, what we are talking about first to start the show, in light of DJ Moore's fantastic game last night with the Bears against the Commanders, it begs the question, there's a lot of former Carolina Panthers around the NFL that are balling out right now. My question to you is, which one do you miss the most? Is it DJ Moore? Is it Christian McCaffrey, who's having an MVP season himself? Maybe Curtis Samuel, who didn't look too damn bad, in my own opinion. Maybe it's the
Go ahead and say
Reddick.
it. No,
Hey,
say the other one.
Maybe it's
Say the other one.
Baker Mayfield.
Say it.
Oh, damn it, man. Baker fucking Mayfield, bro. All right. But hey, by the way, whoever has the background noise, mute your microphone while you're not speaking. But yeah, let's jump into it, man. What former NFL player for the Panthers are you missing the most? Jump in on it, boys.
Well, before everybody jumps into it, let me go ahead and lay the stats out for what they have this year.
Do it.
So CMC has 459 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns. He has 18 catches for 141 yards and 1 touchdown. Baker Mayfield has 882 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 picks at a 70% completion percentage. DJ Moore has 27 receptions for 531 yards and 5 touchdowns. So there's the stats for those 3 players. I didn't include Reddick or Samuel because they're kind of irrelevant when it comes to this point. I mean, you would include the good with the bad, but we're just going to talk about the good right now because the bad, like I'm not saying Reddick or Samuel are bad, but compared to everybody else, they're not shining. Like I wouldn't consider them players that I miss so much.
Yeah.
Maybe last year with Reddick, but not this year.
Though? My first question is, do they have to still be playing? Or
Yeah. We're talking about
I would say out of these 3,
players.
Okay,
Players that within the past 5 years have suited up for the Carolina Panthers on Sundays.
Well, if you're gonna go,
Greg, since you started, what player are you missing the most?
Well, if you're gonna go last 5 years, then I'm gonna say Cam Newton.
Damn right.
I see that.
I mean, like if you're gonna go last 5 years, but if you're gonna say between these 3 players, this is tough. It really is. I think for me, Baker's eliminated because, like, while I like Baker, and I think he may have worked here, I don't know if necessarily what I saw last year made me feel like I was very positive with the future going forward. And while I love CMC and he's doing everything, he really is. I think he's the MVP, the top runner for the MVP right now. The offensive line we have in Carolina would not do well for Baker Mayfield, or would not do well for Christian McCaffrey as he is right now in San Fran. Like he didn't put up the numbers in Carolina that he is right now in San Fran. It didn't happen, you know?
Well,
so I would have to say
year.
DJ Moore, to be truly honest with you. I think right now, DJ Moore on this team makes Bryce Young a better player. I think right now, DJ Moore on this team makes our offense look better. I'm not saying CMC wouldn't, but I think DJ Moore is the best option we had right now. It's the player I miss the most. While I love Brian Burns, he should have been the guy that went to Chicago, not.
Exactly.
By the way, DJ Moore over the past 5 games, this is from the homie Monty, shout out. 27 catches, 531 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, 19.6 yards per catch, and 106.2 yards per game. That means he is on pace for 1,800 plus receiving yards, 85 plus catches, and 10 plus touchdowns, man.
I'll give you an even bigger kick in the ass than we're thinking about with these trades. Think about this. We could have drafted Justin Fields.
We could have drafted Justin
CMC
Herbert
and DJ Moore. I get that, but what I'm saying is you see the connection with DJ Moore right now. We could have drafted Justin Fields and had CMC and DJ Moore, and then going forward with this 2 years ago.
We went and got bum ass JC Horn instead.
JC Horn.
It's bullshit. It's so annoying. Listen, the reality is that our GM needs to go, because if you were never gonna pay Brian Burns after we declined to trade for him, like what logic is that? Like what actual logic is that? It makes zero sense still to this day. And the fact that I'm sorry, Cody Lashney, I told you the top tier wide receiver ones are not replaceable. They're just not.
We have a message loud and clear from Chad with the fuck Scott, fuck Tepper, fuck Sir Purr. Damn, even Sir Purr catching strays now.
Everybody's
bro.
got to take it, man.
Messed up, bro.
I want to say something.
All right, go ahead.
My guy that I miss the most is DJ Moore. And I'm going to go a step farther, and this may step on some toes, but I've been in a bad mood all day. I've got trouble with work because I'm in a bad mood. I told him I didn't care. They told me that if maybe you need to go find a job. I said, maybe you need to fire me and make me happy today.
Damn.
And
ooh, wow.
Yeah. I'll probably get in worse trouble tomorrow or later, but I really don't care. I'm just in a bad mood today, and I'm just going to tell you how I feel. And if you don't like it, too damn bad. Okay, really. Right now, Bryce Young ain't worth trading up. Right now, Bryce Young ain't worth a first-round pick. Right now, Bryce Young is the embarrassment of first-round talent. You don't like it, get over it. Now, can I blame everybody else? Oh, boy, I do. I blame everybody from Scott Fitterer to the coaches. And right now, to be bluntly honest with you, Josh McCown, I thought you were a good hire. But right now, you don't know shit.
I told y'all he was
okay.
trash.
The offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown, you get up on that podium and you talk your talk, but you don't walk your walk. If you walked your walk, you would stand your ground against that head coach that's embarrassing your career. Yeah. All right, and I'm going to go right on down. Let me tell you the two old men that I fell in love with and I thought was going to help his team. Your ass should go to the retirement home because you damn sure ain't worth being on this team. And as far as Ike Ekwonu, right now, you are the biggest first-round bust on this team. Until you prove otherwise.
Can I say this? How is it this bad that we're actually looking at what Matt Rule did with this team and we're like, wow, this looks terrible compared to what he did. And what he did was terrible. Like, this is so bad, guys. I don't know where to even go from here. Like, are we supposed to just hope that David Tepper hires another good actual good head coach and actual good GM? There's no proven track record of that. Like, it's tough.
So I'll tell you what happens. Carolina Panthers fans are going to want some microwave rule shit all over again. They're going to go out and get a wide receiver, and they're going to fuck up our draft stock again. Some shit that we don't need. Carolina Panthers fans are impatient. And this shit is going to get worse before it gets better. We have no first-round pick next year.
Nope.
You just got to – I know you don't want to. We're not going to be fucking good for at least 3 more years. And that's pending who our coaches are, GM, all kinds of shit comes into play. We're not winning anytime soon, man. It's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen next year like that. You know, if you're talking about winning, sometimes you just got to be patient. Take the lumps. Don't make more holes and put us in more trouble. But that's what they're going to do anyway because they don't give a fuck about what we think. They're going to do it anyway. Between Scott Fitterer trying to save his job and Wright trying to save his job, even though he's already signed for 3 years or some shit like that or whatever, and David Tepper allowing him to stay here because he don't want to look like an idiot, and keeps hiring the worst coaches out here because nobody wants to say that they're wrong. They just keep going up there, press conference after press conference, dodging questions, lying. And they can't get out their way. They're gonna fuck this up even more. Watch, even more. They're gonna fuck it up more.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna be missing a first, a second, and a 5th round next year. Opposed to them just saying, "Look, be bad for 2 years and let's get back on track."
And none of the guys, Twan, that you can go out and trade for like a wide receiver or any of that. None of them you can actually get are as good as DJ Moore's level. Like Jerry Judy, Marquise Brown, they're just high-end wide receiver twos. Like
Anthony,
I'm pretty sure.
The bigger problem is nobody wants to come play here.
Well, but hold on.
Nobody's gonna want to come play here.
I'm gonna
that.
pass it back in a second. But one, the stats with the $5 says I could have won the lotto by picking the right numbers, but it's after the fact. That's true. But also shout out to my man Leo Factor, who's been a follower of C3 for a while, and this man continues to come back, and he's a Bears fan. So one, you're welcome for not only DJ Moore, but probably that number one overall pick that the Bears are going to have again for 2 consecutive years in a row. But, man.
They ain't going to know what to do with it.
Take care of DJ, man. Take care of DJ. We appreciate you for rocking with us. Yeah, go ahead, Greg. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to finish my point.
Let him finish his point. Yeah.
Anthony, and then I'm going to introduce someone.
Okay. So, Twan, it's bad. And here's the thing. Listen, I'm sorry. I've been a Bryce Young fan, but I can't defend him at this moment. And I can't defend what this trade is. Because think about it. We are basically we basically traded Caleb Williams and DJ Moore for Bryce Young.
Right.
That's pretty much what it is. And it's so bad. We have so much ego bar face. The problem is Tepper never wants to admit when he's wrong. He has such a big ego, and that he can never just understand that he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So he still
Anthony,
wants
he's
to
not even talking. He's hiding like a little bitch.
I know, and he he has input in all these decisions. I'll let you go in a sec, Michael. He has input in all these decisions, and then when he doesn't even let Frank Reich pick his own quarterback, it's just a bunch of horse shit. And I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of getting my hopes up. And this is why I said, if you're never expecting disappointment, you'll never be disappointed. And that's where I am at this point. I don't really care. And I'm always going to be a fan, but this is embarrassing.
This is bad, bro. It's bad.
It really is embarrassing. Go ahead, Michael. What are you going to say, bro?
Okay. Yeah, I agree with Anthony on that point because, I'm a faithful fan too, but with Bryce, not doing what he's capable of doing, and with all these turnovers that he's been throwing, which is obvious, I'm starting to question myself. Is Bryce really our answer right now at quarterback? And I don't know. I'm starting to think that he's probably not the guy for us.
Bro, we got way more problems than just the quarterback. There's
Agreed.
a lot of bad shit going on.
Agreed. And can I say real quick that I think that, look, y'all know my stance on Bryce, and I really don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think that if he had better stuff around him, he'd be a much better quarterback. And I'm not saying that if he'd have gone to the Texans or the Colts that he'd be better, because I don't believe they have incredible talent around them. I'm just saying that maybe he needs time. I don't think he's ready right now, which is why I don't think he's a player we should have drafted. But there are moves that I think we can make that might help him out. And we're talking about things we want to do. Look, man, there's receivers out there, and I have to kind of look at it. There may be a running back out there. I'd be willing to trade the entire draft next season to get a halfway decent running back and wide receiver in here. And I think that we need to look at Detroit with Jameson Williams. He played with him in college. This guy's the same height and weight as Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, about the same speed. He may be a little faster, I'm not sure. Same kind of hands, man. And this guy played with Bryce in college. Detroit's already not stacked at wide receiver, but they're pretty set at wide receiver. I mean, they're pretty good.
Greg, you don't.
I say we make a move for Jameson Williams, man. That would help Bryce out so much. And I think it'd make Bryce so much better to have a receiver.
And by the way, Greg, they did play together. They both played together
in Alabama. They played well together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get I get the Jameson Williams, but the trading for the running back, no. We already had the running back that's probably the
and I
only
get that.
tradable
I get
running
that.
back.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is kind of how I knew that Baker Mayfield was going to be good this year, is because it just feels like everyone, when they lead the Panthers, they thrive somewhere else. This is an 8-win Bucks team last season that we're talking about now. And they're 3-1 now, and they're on pace for 12 wins. Come on now. This is getting absolutely ridiculous.
Anthony, the Carolina Panthers are a rehabilitation team.
They are.
You come here to get your skills up and rehab whatever injuries you're dealing with, and then you go somewhere else and be proud.
Well, look, hold on. Let me introduce my man Chuck. Appreciate having you back on the show, Chuck.
Hey, how's it
yeah,
going?
talk to me, man.
No, Twan, I agree with everything you said. No, it's actually kind of worse with that. It's worse in the sense like, in the Premier League, they have the better teams like Manchester City and the Manchester United. We're like the lower teams that end up being good. Their players be good and go to that team. Like Leeds, like Nottingham Forest. We're a feeder team, bro. We're a farm team.
That's it.
DJ, you can name Al Michael. Look, it's about to be a comedy show because I know Al Michaels is going to, like that Bears and Panthers game, we're going to catch so many strays, bro. Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, all balling.
So, by the way, the record for most consecutive touchdowns in a game is 15 games in a row.
He is about to go to the Hall of Fame as a 49er. He's going to the Hall of Fame as a 49er.
Christian McCaffrey is currently at Christian McCaffrey is at 13 games with the touchdown in a row.
Twan, I bet you $1,000 he's going to the Hall of Fame.
He may. I'm just saying, so far with his record, he had one good year with us.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he probably definitely.
Hey, fuck, guys, just a minute. We need to stop this. We need to stop over talking everybody, one person at a time. All right, if somebody else ain't done talking, don't say anything. Wait till the other person gets done talking. Thank you very much.
Nobody was over.
You're not going to interrupt nobody on his show today. I appreciate that. We need some of that. Yeah, I'm gonna continue.
I want to make a quick point on something that Bad Daddy said, though. Greg said. Yep. Greg, I'm with you, man. I think we should just package up every fucking pick we got next year, and just go.
We got a first round in 2025,
right? Go get a couple of whatever we need. Because listen, man, you got to start putting the band-aids on this shit now. You're not gonna just kill it in the draft now. Now you just got to kind of throw this next year's draft. You gotta throw that shit away. And start salvaging. You can't fuck all them picks. You just got to kind of throw that shit away to get two really good players, take that shit as a loss, and get back on track the year after that.
Yeah, all right.
Because this front office is just going to keep right on creating more holes, more potholes, and fucking the team up worse, bro. And where's David Tepper? He's nowhere to be found, bro.
I'm going to ask a question, and I don't want it to take up the whole show, but I'm going to ask it real quick. To those of you that are talking about how disappointed you've been with Bryce, are you already giving up on him? Like,
no.
Is these 3 games? Are these 3 games all that it takes for you to be like, nah, Bryce ain't it. Bryce sucks. That's not my quarterback.
No, I'm not. Can I answer that question, please? We're not going to interrupt anybody. I'm not giving up on him, but I'm mad at Scott Fitterer saying that we can drop a QB in this win. It wasn't like that. They sold the fan base saying that we can get 8 to 9 wins. If you would have told me 5 to 6, if you would have told me 5 to 6 wins and we're building up the team, I would have been cool. I wouldn't be that mad because I know we were building to something better. 2024, 2025. No, they did not say that. They said the division is able to be gettable. And now that you're saying that you're 0-4 and being on pace for the first round pick, the overall pick, and a generational draft, nah, man. I'm not happy with that.
Me either. I'm going to say this. I'm not out on him because, listen, even if he doesn't pan out here, he'll go to another team. He'll become a starting quarterback. The coach will know what to do with him. That's just the reality now. Like, I just don't think we're getting the bet. We're putting our players in the best situation here. And that's why you see them, once they leave, they immediately thrive. I mean, DJ Moore never had a game that was 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't really know. I don't think the Bryce is the problem. And I honestly think this. If CJ Stroud or AR was here, I think they'd be having the same problems. I really do. I just don't. I think this is dysfunctional from the top down. And that's ultimately where it starts from.
I'd agree.
It's the whole fucking thing. It's the whole thing. Top to bottom. Concessions, everybody is to blame.
Yeah, the problem is like, I forgot who said it, but if we were told that, be patient with this is going to be a rebuild year, we're going to get things, there's going to be a lot of bumps and bruises. Nah, Scott Fitterer comes out and talks about how we're trying to win the division. You were trying to win a division based off of teams that were absolutely ass water last year. You don't think that they get better too after a season? Come on, man. You can't base your future off of what has already happened. No, like,
We
yeah,
weren't
granted,
trying to win the division.
yeah, no, like, oh man, it's like, I
We
mean, my
weren't
thing
trying to
is
win
like,
the
where
division.
are the wins? Where
I
are
mean,
the
we were
wins?
trying to win it this year, but hey, let me introduce Raleigh. Raleigh, what's going on, dude?
How's it going, Cody? I really don't think with what they brought in, as far as on our offensive side and a rookie quarterback, and who we brought in as far as our secondary or primary quarterback, we weren't planning to win our division this year. It was all BS talk just to get us to buy into all these high dollar buyout coaches. And I mean, it's just honest. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad coaches. It's just any coach needs plenty of time to set up a system. And I'm not saying it's like Matt Gruel or Rat Mule, whatever you want to call him, but it does take time.
It does. It does. And listen, I said this earlier on Twan's show. I believe that the San Francisco 49ers and the Miami Dolphins have provided the blueprint as to how you're going to build your offense around Bryce Young.
The team that we're playing,
you're going to have a lot of weapons
Sunday,
everywhere.
I'm sorry.
You're going to have a lot of weapons everywhere. You're going to have, playmakers on the exterior. You're going to be able to run the ball well. And you're going to make an offense where your quarterback isn't necessarily the focal point of everything that you're doing. Right. And by the way, a lot of people really like Tua Tagovailoa now. They're really high on him and what he might be able to do. But I still wouldn't take him over Justin Herbert.
Cody.
I'd like CJ Stroud. I'd like CJ Stroud more in the draft. And anyone that's been on this channel for longer than just a couple months know that I felt that way for a while. Now, does that mean that I'm giving up on Bryce? No, it doesn't. But man, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that it doesn't fucking hurt when you look at what Stroud's doing right now and the numbers that he's put up, and then to say that, oh, everything is okay, that's fine, that's normal. It's like, bro, we were promised more than this, man.
Cody, can I give you a response? Can I give you a response?
Yeah, we'll go Chuck, then Anthony, then Michael.
Cody, I'll give you a response with that. CJ.
You still there? I can't hear you, Chuck.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Somebody got their TV on in the background.
Okay. Yeah, by the way, whoever has any background noise, if you don't have headphones, mute your microphone when you're not talking so there's not a bunch of extra shit going on in the background. Please and thanks. Go ahead, Chuck.
Okay, so I'm only say a little bit, and I could go. But CJ Stroud has talent around him. He has Nico Collins. He has different receivers. I do admit, though, half of his offensive line has been injured, and he's still balling. I do admit that. I do look at the other way with that. But my thing is that there is nothing like the offensive line has aggressed. I was standing on the table for Icky, and I look foolish right now, sticking up for him all over the preseason, and he has regressed. So that's like egg on my face. So that's all I got to say about that.
I'm just gonna say this, Cody. CJ Stroud and Richardson are happy not to be here. If we're being honest with ourselves, I watch every Texans game. The one thing the Texans receivers do that no one on the Panthers does is get yak yards. They can take a 20-yard pass to the end zone. That's also why he's throwing for a ton of yards. No one does that on the Panthers. Like, we're just not in a good position at all. Like, so just be thankful that your boy is going to have a successful career. And that ultimately goes back to my main point. Until we get serious management in here and coaches and people and scouts that know how to draft, no player is really going to be successful here to their full potential. As much as I've been shitting on Brian Burns, if we do trade him somewhere, he's immediately going to step it up. It's just a reality now. That, like, it really is. I don't really know what else to say, man. I really don't.
Burns is checked out. Let me go ahead and tell y'all that shit right now.
Out. Yeah, he's checked
Burns
out.
Is checked out.
I get some of
he's
the people.
He's over the Panthers, bro. He's over the Panthers.
some people were saying
Thielen's getting minimal yak. I mean, he's not getting a bunch of yards, but he's at least getting 3 yards after the play.
well, he's not
And that's all we got. I mean, that's all we're going to.
I listen. Reality is that we just need a fire sale. I don't know what else to say. Like, I really don't know what direction we can go in.
It's Anthony. Let me help you out, bro. There's nothing to say.
And I'm gonna let Michael go.
We suck.
Yeah,
and it's
really
gonna be this way for a minute. We gotta slow cook this shit.
And I want to tap into
I want to tap into the great mind of Diesel skills when I say this, bro. These. It's just gonna be a minute, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's
the 1 year
we can't win. We can't win now. That's out. People got to get that out their head
So,
right now.
hold on. Let me hold on. I'm gonna
ask this question real quick.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Do you see us winning more than 2 games this year? I'm asking everybody. Because we looked at the schedule again today. We got so many revenge games coming up. DJ Moore going to beat our ass. CJ Stroud going to want to beat our ass for not picking him. The coach going to want to beat the shit out of Reich and show us why we shouldn't have took him.
Yeah, we're screwed. Yeah. We're not winning a game.
Why would
DJ Moore? Hold on. No, I don't mean to interrupt. I promised Michael that he could go. He had his hand up very nicely. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna say this right now. If the owner or GM is promising us anything and it doesn't happen, they need to keep their mouth shut. Because if they're trying to promise us something and it goes in one ear and out the other, yeah, just don't say anything at all. That's all I gotta say.
They're not saying anything. Have you been watching these press conferences? They don't say shit.
That's not what he's talking about, Tom, my friend. What? He's talking about at the beginning of the year when Scott Fitterer got up and told everybody how great we were going to be and how we didn't need a good wide receiver because Bryce was so good. He was going to deliver that ball everywhere, and the offensive line was so good. And you know, it was a crock of shit. But like I said before, I should have. I, as a longtime Panther fan, should have knew better than that. Now, that being said, in this video that Cody get ready to show, I've seen this a whole bunch of times, and here's my opinion. I'm not calling David Tepper, well, I guess I am calling him an idiot. But the fact of the matter is, do you truly believe David Tepper has studied everything he talked about in this video?
No.
Do you think he studied? No, he did not. He was told this by the same mother who lied to us.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, folks, that being said, let's be real.
Cody,
we all, as fans, need to remember this moment for our future, especially you young fans. 2 years, a year from now, or 2 years from now, when another GM gets up and run his mouth, remember, they lie. It's what they do for a living. Never
we're
trust
not going to trust this organization for a minute.
Now, number 2. Twan, you said that Stroud's going to take revenge because we didn't draft him. I doubt it. If I'm Stroud, I'm thanking God Almighty he didn't come up here.
I know.
I'm saying thank you, Carolina. Let me send you a bottle of wine because you didn't take.
I would be happy here. I would be happy here too. But he got that shit marked. Any guys that have that type of any team. Some guys go off. They're like, every team that passed on me, I'm gonna go in. But you got to be that type of guy. I think CJ Stroud's got the Carolina Panthers marked because we lied to him.
Well, he don't have to work too hard at it. He's stuck already.
So listen. Yeah, go ahead.
It's because our stupid ass owner butts his head in these decisions. He doesn't know a goddamn thing about anything.
Sure does. And look, speaking of our owner, let me play this clip because this happened right after the draft. It was when we were talking. When we were talking about Bryce. Yeah. And I'm just going to play this right quick.
You know, the way he throws the ball, the way he's a point guard, how you can use the different players in the field, how you might not have to have as many elite receivers because he's a point guard, right? So he distributes the ball to people with routes. So you can save some money there. You know, we believe we can save money other places because and put that money into the defensive side of the ball.
And bro, you know why I fucking hate this shit all the worst? He was not at the podium. It was Frank Reich and Fitter at the fucking table. And then this Scrooge McDuck looking like fucking dumbass barges up.
Take this guy serious,
barges
bro.
up. And then he's like talking all this game, all this football that has been parroted to him. And he's talking like he knows shit. Dude, this is what pisses me off. And by the way, the reason why I even bring this up is he said, oh, but Bryce is a point guard, so you don't necessarily have to have the best of receivers because he's a point guard. And I'll be damned. What are the Carolina Panthers looking to do right now? Oh, yeah, that's right. We're in
Cody,
the market
to
next. Trade for
all they do is lie.
Please let me go next. Please let me go
We're
next.
A joke. The Panthers are the Cleveland fucking Browns, boys.
Yeah,
we're the Browns. We're the Lions. We are dumpsters.
The Lions are out of the mud, though.
We're talking about the old ones. The old ones.
Yeah.
Anthony,
we're the old
this motherfucker was trying to break down some science about football, which he knows nothing about, and he's talking about how Bryce is throwing people open or whatever emotions. And he ended this conversation about how to save money.
Yeah, it makes no sense. If you're saving money, then why don't you have the fucking money to pay Brian Burns? Dude, everything they say is a fucking lie. That's all it is. Everything they say is a goddamn lie. It's ridiculous. And the fact that he comes back and he's like, well, we need a wide receiver now. All these reports coming out. How come the fans knew this, but you didn't know this? Ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous.
So,
hey, Anthony, let me ask you a question. So, I'm a Knicks fan, right?
Yeah, then I'm going to go to Raleigh.
No, I know you're a Knicks fan.
I'm a New York Knicks fan. So, does anybody know who the New York Knicks owner is?
I forget his name.
He goes by the name of James Dolan. James Dolan. Yeah. When I tell you I know a shitty owner, this guy's been a shitty owner for almost 25, going on 30 years. When I tell you I know what shitty owners are, this man didn't give a fuck. Tepper doesn't give a shit about this team. It's just a shiny toy, man. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's just making money off this team. Because guess what? He wants to be this wannabe Jerry Jones, but your team is embarking 0-6, and you can't be found nowhere to speak about your team? He's hiding.
They made a post today that he showed up to the to practice.
No, they want to put his ass on a podium.
Oh yeah, they're not going to. No, they're not going to, and he knows that he's not going to. And by the way, you're probably not going to be hearing from Fitterer soon, I would imagine either.
Hey, I think that David Tepper's plan is to truly get out of Charlotte and go to a city like Austin, where it's money, it's big. I truly believe it.
I'm sorry if that happens. I'm done following this team.
Hey, y'all talking about real quick. Hold on,
too much land.
Before we go forward,
in South Carolina.
Hey, hold on. Before we go forward, welcome back to my homie, my man, my guy. Man, I've been missing this man on the free for all, bro. My man, Drew. Drew, what's up, dude?
What's going on, fellas? How you feeling tonight?
Dude, where the hell you been, man? You did a bit? You been in jail?
Talk to me, man. Talk me off this ledge, my brother. Because we're hurting right now,
I had
bro.
family stuff, man. I had some family stuff and keeping me busy, but I've been around, been listening to everybody.
Yeah, man, Drew, talk me off this ledge, bro. What? Like, God, what's even going on right now, bro? Like, I feel so bad. I said earlier, I don't remember a more hopeless time being a Carolina Panther fan, bro. I don't remember it. I just don't.
Honestly, I've been enjoying watching some really good football. The 49ers look pretty good these days.
Oh, boy, do they, huh? How about that boy McCaffrey, man?
Hey, he might win the MVP this year.
He should, man.
They ain't gonna give it to the running
I've
back.
been listening and everything. I was listening to Twan's show earlier, and I've been listening to you guys, and I'm just telling you guys, everybody's talking about, the offensive line is bad, this is bad, that is bad. I'm gonna tell you, not we, but David Tepper messed up when the season ended. Because that same offensive line minus Chandler Zavala, he needs to go. I get that and everything. But even when Brady Christensen was out there, same thing was going on. We had pretty much the same offensive line. Supposedly, we upgraded at quarterback. We brought back supposedly a better defense. And we've been getting our asses handed to us. And you want to know why? Because they hired a coach whose philosophy does not fit with what we have.
Yeah.
We had a man already in-house who had us at the end of last season believing that this team could actually do something.
Yeah.
The players at the end of the season said, this is the man we want to go to war with. And David Tepper said, I don't give a shit what you guys want. This is what I want.
He said,
and you know what? They went and spent a bunch of money on Frank Wright, this whole coaching staff. They went and spent all our draft capital bringing in Bryce Young. They went and spent money. What if the one thing I've always told everybody, you don't overpay for running backs. They spent the most amount of money than any team in the NFL on a running back who averages 1.5 yards a carry.
Oh,
I think he's hurt.
What they should have done is you should have stayed in house, kept Steve Wilkes. Stay if you want to move up. Don't move up to 1. Move up to 3. You wouldn't have had to give up DJ Moore. Move up to 3. Get your quarterback. Hey, let Steve Wilkes continue to build on the defense, and you re-sign Deontay Foreman, and you run the damn football. Frank Wright has been the biggest hindrance of Ike Ekwonu than anything that's happened so far this season. Ike is not a pass blocking tackle. He is a road grader. They did it last year. They ran the damn ball down people's throat. And now he wants to, he is a Matt Rule clone. I hate to say it, but Frank Wright is a Matt Rule clone. What did Matt Rule preach to us all last year? Every week after they go and throw the ball 40 times, we gotta make an emphasis to run the football. And what do they do? The next week they throw the damn ball 40 times. What did Frank Wright do? We gotta run the football. And he goes and has Andy Darnold throw the damn ball 58 damn times. Our line is not built for that. And that is why Bryce Young can't get any traction, because he's got a guy in his face every damn time he steps back in the pocket. Look at the 49ers. Look at the 49ers when they play. Their offensive line plays on the other side of the ball. When they hike that ball, they move the line of scrimmage 3 and 4 yards up the field before Christian McCaffrey is even touched. When we hike the damn ball, the defensive line moves at 3 to 4 yards in our backfield before the ball gets in our running back's hands.
Drew, the chat room is saying, get you a towel because you're out here preaching to the choir, my man.
Can I say that real quick?
Shout out to Drew. Yeah, let me read 2 super chats real quick.
Shout out Drew.
Eric with the $5 says, I saw this thing where Colts fans said they laughed so hard when we hired Frank Wright. I believe it. Lloyd says, I think Tepper's mad at Wilkes for winning. Potentially. He also said Tepper's mad because Wilkes won and we had the 9th overall pick. And by the way, to add on to your point, Drew, the Houston Texans, their head coach is a defensive-minded guy, D'Amico Ryans.
Was San Francisco's defensive coordinator last year.
Yes, and now where's Steve Wilkes with the 49ers? Bro, you couldn't write this any more embarrassing for Carolina.
Guys, I doubt we win 2 games this year. If we don't beat Atlanta, we're in trouble because we're not beating Houston.
Hey, Drew, I don't see the win, bro. I don't see him.
We're gonna get the brakes beat off of us this Sunday.
Well, yeah. Well, look, I see you, Raleigh. I'm gonna let you go, Raleigh, but I want to ask this question to everybody first. Now, David Tepper said, "Oh, well, Bryce Young is a point guard, so you don't necessarily have to have the best receivers." And of course, the Panthers are in the market to trade for a receiver. Even though we're damn near 0-5 on the season. By the way, no 0-5 team has ever made the playoffs in the history of the NFL before in the
0-6.
playoff era.
0-6.
So my question to y'all is, would you trade for a wide receiver? And
No.
right now, everyone, the
No.
apple of everyone's eye, everyone's saying Jerry Judy. Go get Jerry Judy.
No.
What?
He's the
Yeah,
Dante Jackson of the offensive side of the ball.
No,
He's always
listen.
damn
But this-
injured
this
every
is-
single. He's
this is
always
what I
damn
said
injured.
earlier,
He's literally
Anthony.
injured this week. He's literally
We don't need to
injured this
trade for
week.
nothing. We need
No,
to
we
leave this
don't.
shit alone. Stop trading.
But here's my
Don't
major
send
problem.
nobody nowhere. Just
Here's
stop.
Here's my major problem with this. We're tanking this year, and we didn't even try to tank. It's absolutely embarrassing. This
With
is what
no
I meant.
first
Like
round
you
pick
can,
next year.
yes, you can tank if you have a really bad roster, and it's like now we do it, and we don't have anything to look forward to. Like the only wide receiver I'm willing to trade for is a guy that you can, like, if you're actually trying to double down on Bryce Young, I would try to get like a Jalen Waddle, a T. Higgins, guys like that. For like, but the only way you would get them is by trading Brian Burns, which they're probably.
But Anthony, when I ask you this question, I'm not trying to be funny. Trust me. Why though? But for what?
Because
Go
Scott
get a
Fitter is
wide
going to
receiver
try to
for
no.
what?
Because Scott Fitter is going to try to save his damn job, and they traded
that's
so
what I
much for
said.
Bryce. They traded so
Okay.
much for Bryce Young. No, hold on. They traded so much for Bryce Young. If you're never even going to give him any support or see what he can actually do with solid things around him, then why the fuck did we trade up for him? They're going to have
Hey,
to
Drew,
make
why
some
are we
type
going
of
to go
move.
get a wide receiver, Drew? Why?
Drew
Put it
then
like this.
Drew,
We
Drew
should-
then Raleigh.
We shouldn't be trading for anything. What we should be
Anything.
doing is trading Brian Burns at this point.
Just take the L.
Brian Burns, put it like this. Fitter screwed up last year because if he had no intentions of signing Brian Burns, he should have took the Rams off for last year. He
I'm
didn't.
glad he didn't sign him.
Yeah.
And
Brian Burns is a waste.
And Pickle, I agree with you. Brian Burns is not worth what he's asking for. If he wants $30 million, he needs to take over a game like TJ Watt and Nick Bosa. And the last couple of games I've seen, he ain't done that. He's been getting dominated by
You're getting
backup
doubled, man.
And by the way,
Pickle,
wait, hold on, everybody time.
Hold up,
Wait,
yo, Cody.
okay, go ahead, Drew.
Hold up, Ron. No. That Seattle game, he was not getting double teamed. He was getting manhandled.
Neither was
One-on-one.
Damn right.
I was
Like
at
a
Minnesota.
fucking tight end.
And wait,
I was
He
at,
wasn't
I was
the-
at, hold on. I was
wait,
at
hold on,
the
wait, hold
Minnesota-
on, and wait, everybody time out. If
That's
you
why
don't
YGM
believe, if
getting
you
so free
wait,
now.
hold on, listen. If you
No,
don't
it
believe us, every week now, me and Panther Pickle, we have been doing in-depth film room sessions that are available on the channel. The most recent one that we did was an hour and 30 minutes of me, Pickle, and Cole breaking down all 22 film. And listen, as somebody who was an advocate to pay Brian Burns, dude, in the second half of ball games against tight ends and left tackles, he just disappears, man. He has no secondary pass rush maneuver. And it's like the fifth year in his career. You would expect
man.
more by now, man.
No, Cody,
You
let
would
me say this.
expect
I'm not
more.
buying that.
I was.
But
oh,
hold on,
I was at
It's in the
then,
film.
hold on. No, I know everybody wants to go. I've been telling Raleigh for 5 minutes that he can go. Let me let Raleigh jump in.
I'm
Go
going to
ahead,
continue
Raleigh.
to defend Burns, bro.
Hey Cody, I watched you and Fitter the other day, or Pickle the other day. We're giving less leeway to Reich than we did to Rule. We gave Rule more leeway than we did to Reich, and that's unfair. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. But as far as Brian Burns, and I was watching the films with you guys the other day, and I swear he cannot spin into his left-hand side because all he ever does is swims outside and tries to block an arm and circle around. And most of those plays, if he would have just spun into the inside, he would have been on him before the ball got out of his hands. I'm talking about Kirk Cousins. And I do think it's unfair towards the coaches. I mean, it's too early. We're cutting our throats before we even get a chance to even do anything. We got Michael Jordan had Scottie Pippen. Okay, we're talking about a point guard. We don't even have a running back right now that's comparable to Scottie Pippen. I mean, we got Adam Thielen, and on top of it, our quarterback isn't even looking off the plays he's throwing. I mean, I don't get it. It's just like they give him one play and say, go there or cancel it and go to the other one. If you look at him, he's not even looking off the throws he's throwing.
He's staring down. He's actually staring down a lot of receivers. Most of the receivers he throws through, he stares down. And he knows better than that.
And he's sticking with it.
Yeah,
and my question is, do you think that's on the coaches telling him to go to his first year? Or
yes, I do. I think they have no. They have no belief in him.
No, he was the truth. I
don't think so.
No, they were babying him, and they're not letting him just actually go out and do what he wants.
But what we're saying is, Anthony, their receivers open. You might be saying they're not calling the right plays, but he's not throwing it open receivers.
Guess what? If Bryce Young,
one at a time. Go ahead.
If Bryce Young is the wrong pick, then who they all get fired, and that's ultimately what I want. So I don't really care anymore. What I wanted to say about Brian Burns is that, dude, I was at the game. He was getting blanketed by Darius all fucking game. He's not he's not worth $30 million. We don't have any superstars on this team. That's the reality of the situation.
Nah, man. Nah, I'm an advocate of players. I can't argue with 10 of y'all. But I'm not blaming none of this shit on these players. I'm not liking Bryce Young right now. I'm not. These guys are playing for some dysfunctional motherfuckers that's not setting them up for success. I'm not blaming these players for shit. Brian Burns is mentally checked out. He don't.
Well, he shouldn't be here then. If he's mentally checked out, he needs to go somewhere else to check out. That's because he's getting paid too much money to play that fucking badly.
You're mentally checked out.
You know what? You need to do with Brian Burns. You need to put him on injury reserve.
Oh man, that ain't fair, pickle.
Well, who cares a damn whether it's fair? It ain't fair that we have to watch that crap every Sunday, is it?
Time out.
You know what? If a player checks out of a game he plays in, he shouldn't play in the NFL because he ain't got the mental toughness and the heart to play in it. Brian Burns is a pussy who.
Look, I want to ask y'all this: are you now on board the trading Brian Burns train?
Hell yes,
damn right. Don't matter what we get, trade him for something because he damn sure ain't worth what we got.
I'm not gonna let y'all just go after these players like that, though, man. Fuck.
Well, we all.
Can I say this?
That's it. You can't go after these players.
Yeah, I can. I do it all the time.
All right,
their front office is so dysfunctional. It's easy to go after these fucking players, man. It ain't just Brian Burns is checked out. They don't want to fucking play right now.
You know who the hell
can get geeked up about this team, bro? You in there, you busting your ass in practice every day, only to have Frank Wright come out here and throw the balls out in the fucking flats every other play.
Then request a trade. Then request a trade. Here's my problem with this. Why didn't we ever trade him when you half-assed the rebuild again? Again, this is like the fourth time. You trade McCaffrey, you trade Moore, but you don't trade Burns. It makes no sense.
So you should have let Burns go last year.
If you want to go all in on one direction, you have to get rid of all of your good players and acquire as much draft capital as you can to rebuild the roster.
So why did Scott take the deal last year?
Because he's a fucking moron. I've been saying that for months. Dude, I've been saying that. Literally. He's a moron. And that's literally what it is.
Hey, look, wait. Greg wanted to go. Go ahead, Greg.
I wanted to comment real quick on a couple things. One first is the whole thing with Brian Burns. I'm not saying Brian Burns is the total reason to blame by any means. I'm not putting all the blame on him, but he does shoulder some blame. Because here's the thing: I'm looking at his salary right now, and I want to ask anybody here that goes to work every day, if you were told you got paid $3.385 million a year to go play football, would you check out?
Hell no.
Exactly. So bring it back down to reality. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, cool. They're superstars, whatever. Bring it back down to reality. We're paying you $3.385 million a year this year.
No,
you should not be checked out of the game. You being checked out of the game is not on coaching. It's on you as well. Period. It's
And that's
on you.
why you don't feel. And that's why you don't feel bad for these players. And that's
Second of
why you
all,
don't
I
feel
want
bad
to push.
for these players.
I want to push back on the whole don't make any moves thing. Because here's the thing: we have Bryce Young. Okay, if we were to not try to build around him, then we're in a worse position if we try to reset right now, and get rid of Bryce Young. I'm sorry, I'm not a huge Bryce Young fan, but we're in this. So we need to try to support Bryce Young and get around him. I think he could be a good player, but he's not at that point right now. We don't have the players around him. But if we were to just totally give up, what's the other option? If we don't trade our picks next year to get more players to build around Bryce, what's the other option?
I'll tell you this.
There's nothing there.
You gotta sit and wait, Greg. You can't look, man. We're only gonna keep creating holes.
Well, I understand.
All of your picks next year. Let me ask you: if you take a wide receiver,
this
if
is
you
the
take a
only
wide receiver that's a starter next year, and maybe another running back that's decent, is that not better than a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh?
It is, but here's the thing, Greg.
For
Here's
1
the
year?
thing. The only wide receiver the only type of wide receiver that's going to make a difference for Bryce Young is a guy you can get. The teams are only going to give you if you trade Brian Burns. He's the only somewhat.
So get rid of Brian Burns.
And that's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. And that's what we all ultimately need to do. Because there's reports that come out. Listen, let's be honest here. The reports that came out, I know everyone saw it. It said, quote unquote, top tier wide receiver 1. That's not Jerry Jeudy. That's not Marquise Brown. That's not any of those guys. So how are you going to acquire one of those without just with a third round pick or that? No, you're going to have to trade a quality player. Most for top tier wide receivers like AJ Brown, they go for first round picks. And that's the problem. We don't have that. So even if Brian Burns is only worth the first round pick at this point, and you're not going to pay him, trade his ass. If he's checked out, like Twan said, and first off, and second off, I agree with you, Greg. I don't feel sorry or sympathy for any of these players that make millions of dollars. Fuck that. No. Right. So if you're checked out, trade his ass and get a quality offensive piece to see what we have in this quarterback to help develop him. At that point, that's what we have to do.
Right, but I want look. Drew has his hand up. I want to get Drew in. Go ahead, Drew.
Well, put it like this: this first started with Scott Fitterer not knowing what the situation was. Scott should have already known what Brian Burns was looking for as far as a contract is concerned before anything else. Because if he had came out, if he had known that Brian Burns wanted $30 million or close to $30 million, put him in the Bears deal instead of DJ Moore. You already had DJ Moore under contract. He was already paid. You don't have to worry about it.
Pretty relatively cheap for what the wide receiver market is going to be.
Not 3.3.
So you would have had your quarterback and you would have had your number one wide receiver. And I'm sorry, Brian Burns is a decent pass rusher. He is not an elite pass rusher.
Damn
Brian Burns,
DJ Moore is not a number
I can see
one
giving
receiver.
Brian Burns 20
Yes,
to
he is.
24 million
Yes,
because
he
that's
is.
the market value.
No, he's not.
Anything
Did you
over
watch the game last
$24 million,
I did.
absolutely not.
No,
I don't have the energy.
And by the way, you know who? Hold on. You know who I've been comparing Brian Burns to, and I've been doing it for a reason because you see that he doesn't compare. I've been comparing him to Myles Garrett because he wants over $25 million a year, and that's more money than Myles Garrett gets. And you have to ask yourself, does Brian affect the defensive line and affect tackles the way Myles Garrett does?
Hell no.
Boys, it's not even fucking close.
No, man. See.
It's not even close.
See, when the year started, a lot of people on here was saying, "Look, pay Burns. You got to pay this man."
Because that's what we had to do when we declined the trade.
I didn't.
But listen,
You said it too.
So listen,
Twan.
So listen to this. So when they should have traded Burns for all the picks and shit we could have got or whatever, that would have made more sense then. Now Scott done waited, and now this man is taking on. And people say they like, I thought he took it. They got him in the Seattle game. But listen, that don't drop this man off from his accomplishment and what he could get fucking done. But the thing is now that teams know that we want to trade him, they're not gonna fucking give us back what
we have no leverage.
What he's worth.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you've devalued your
They
own
know
player.
they know we're gonna let him go. They're not. They're gonna try to haggle the shit out of us. And the Panthers right now are the most desperate team in the NFL, and they're gonna do some more dumb shit.
Dude, Drew made the best point. Is that there is no way that Fitterer shouldn't have known the amount of money that Brian Burns was going to ask for. And now he's playing dumb, like, oh, now it's too much. You passed on trading with the Rams. That would have been 2 first-round picks. You passed on sending him up to Chicago. That would have left you with your wide receiver core still intact. Dude, it's time for Fitterer to fucking go, man. It's time. And I want
afraid to get hurt.
Yeah, hold on. I want to pass the mic to Greg, and then I'm going to go to D's. I haven't heard from Don in a minute.
Dude, I just had an epiphany, man. Like, it just hit me like a ton of bricks right now. I've got the perfect trade. The perfect trade for Carolina. Okay? We're going to give Brian Burns and our entire draft capital next year.
Jamar Chase.
For David Montgomery and Jameson Williams.
What? Ew! What the hell is
there you
that?
Go. Then you run with that through 2025, and you got a first. You're resetting right there with Bryce Young, Jameson Williams, and David Montgomery.
I agree with him.
Start off.
I agree with him.
Are you kidding me? Are you
There
kidding?
you go.
Hold on. I just told you guys that Brian Burns is worth an actual number 1 fucking wide receiver. Jameson Williams hasn't proven shit. And I told you, what is David Montgomery going to do behind this offensive line? He was
maybe Marvin Harrison Jr.
I think you're crushing it in fantasy with David Montgomery right now. I wouldn't talk too much.
I am, because he's on a top 3 rushing offensive line.
Yeah.
No, because he's on a top 3 rushing offensive line. Here, he wouldn't be able to do as much. That's why, in a way, I don't like Miles Sanders, but a lot of these guys have had success because of the offensive line. There's only 2 running backs in the league that can do it with shitty offensive line, and we already had one of them. I'm talking about trade Brian Burns for a proven number. I trade Brian Burns for Jalen Waddle. I trade Brian Burns for T. Higgins. I trade Brian Burns.
Those players.
You're not going to get it.
That's why we screwed up.
A first round pick and Brian Burns is not worth. Or excuse me, Brian Burns is
on one hand, you're sitting there talking about how he's declining, and then on the other hand, you said you want to trade him for a first round pick. Now, how the fuck is he going to get a first round pick out of him if you're saying he's so bad?
I didn't say he's so bad. I said he's not worth $30 million, but that doesn't mean he could still go for a first round pick. A team will still take him for a first round pick. There's no question about that. But
if you guys are saying he's slowing down, he can't get this done or whatever, he can't do this now and whatever. Who's going to give us a first round pick for him or a first round caliber pick for him? Who's going to do that?
Somebody on the back end of the draft who's playing for the playoffs.
Nobody is going to give the Carolina 0 and fucking whatever we going to be a righteous deal because we're desperate now.
I agree.
I didn't say a righteous deal.
Give up the entire draft.
Whoa. I didn't say anything about a righteous deal.
Daddy just said you might have to give that whole draft up.
Put it like this. You can take somebody like Kansas City, somebody like that, and trade Brian Burns for a late first round pick. Because they don't give a crap. A first round pick to them, they did it with Orlando Brown.
That's my idea. That's my idea. That's my idea.
Going to get you, Drew? To protect Mahomes.
Because you're not getting
a first round pick to Baltimore for Orlando Brown. They franchised him the next year, and then they let him walk. They got a Super Bowl out of it.
You're betting that a first round pick is going to be available on maybe the last 4 picks in the draft. So you're banking on that when you do that.
Yeah, but drafting is gambling. Drafting is gambling anyway.
That's why I said. Why you have to trade.
Why would you limit your gambling to such slim odds? Is what I'm saying. You're right. Drafting is gambling, but why limit it to such a thin margin?
Because nobody's giving you a
left tackle being available in the last 4 picks.
Greg,
nobody's giving you a first round pick over pick 25 for Brian Burns, who's not on the
I can agree with that. I agree with you there. That's what I'm saying. That's why you have to give away the whole draft.
2 first rounds. What was it? 2 first rounds and a second.
Dude, that's why Scott needs to go.
That whole trade is gone. So you got to deal with what you got right now. At most, you're gonna get a late first round pick for Brian Burns. For a team that's fighting for the playoffs and fighting for a Super Bowl. That's the best you're going to get at that point. At this point.
I hope he goes somewhere and plays fucking out just like everybody else is doing.
He will.
Because he's going to be with better talent.
It's 100%.
If I may say,
at this point, Twan, it's 100%.
If I may say, a lot of folks are talking about wide receivers, and here's what you're looking at. If you go trade for a guy like, for example, T. Higgins, just using him for example, he comes here, he plays for a couple months, maybe a month or something. Why the hell is he going to resign?
That's what I was about to say, Pickle.
Why the hell? I mean, in reality, is trading him for a player. You better lower your expectations and trade him for a player who's on a larger contract. If not, you go ahead and trade him, like Drew said, for a late first pick. But at the same time, sometimes that first or second pick in the second round is a better value.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
I agree.
So you want us?
I agree with
they want
Twan
us to
here.
give up our first round pick. We picked Burns in the first round. We want to give up this man who just. And I know a lot of people don't put a lot of value on Pro Bowls, but he did 2 back-to-back. So you want to get rid of him for a lesser pick than what we took him at. You know what I'm saying? 2 Pro Bowls.
Yes, I do. I tell you why. I tell you why. From what I've seen,
I'm not blaming it on you, Pickle. I'm talking about our fucked up ass front office.
No,
but hey, Twan, here's how it is. We may not like it. We really may not. As fans, we're madder than hell about it. But here's the reality of it. Last year, the Chicago Bears gave up a second-round pick for Chase Claypool. Today, they traded him to the Dolphins for a 6th-round pick.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get burned. And the best thing you can do was say, well, I fucked that up. Let me get rid of this trashy motherfucker while I can.
You know what? You know what? There's a saying for that. Charge one to the game.
Yeah, bro. We always getting burned.
You got to accept the loss and move on.
I mean, if Brian Burns isn't playing because let me tell you what, and Cody, you correct me if I'm wrong. I'm asking you if I'm wrong. I want you to correct me. And if anybody else has watched all the scouting things that we've done, I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. I want you to help me. If Brian Burns would have been dominating like he wants to be paid, that he is, we would have won that game, would we not?
Exactly.
Because most of them games, we were either ahead or very close. If Brian Burns would have come in on them 3rd or 4th downs and attacked that quarterback like he supposedly can, we would have won that game. Now, that being said, if you still think Brian Burns is this high epsilon player, you haven't watched enough film. You haven't watched enough tape. This man in Seattle got dominated by a backup tackle. Not a 2 tackle, a 3rd string undrafted rookie tackle dominated that man.
Hey, Pickle, don't forget the tight end too.
And the tight end, a freaking tight end. When the Seattle Seahawks backup tight end dominates Brian Burns.
How many sacks he got so far?
He has 3.
His first 2 games he went off. He had 2 bad. We only played 4 games. He had 2 bad games, 2 good ones. So he went off in the first 2 games.
No, he didn't have 2 good games.
What?
If I'm paying the guy $30 million, he better get more than 1 sack a fucking game.
Hold on.
No. Anthony, wait. Let me ask Twan this. What argument are you making for Burns? Are you saying that we shouldn't trade him and that we should pay him what he wants? Is that the argument that you're making? I'm not. I'm trying to clarify.
I'm saying that. I'm saying. Okay, so you know my connection with Brian Burns. It goes all the way back. You know what I'm saying, to Florida State. But this is Carolina.
That's what it is. This is a Florida State thing, right?
But the thing is, no. It's not a Florida State thing. But the thing is, though, I know that we're going to have to let this man go because of poor fucking management, bro. You know, and the thing is with Burns, and the reason why everybody was like, pay him, because Burns wants to be a Panther. We got a history of players that want to be in Carolina, and Carolina ships these guys off. And then they wind up going somewhere else and balling out somewhere else. It's not going to be any different with him. And they think a wide receiver is going to come in here and fix our problems.
Can I say this?
Burns don't want to be here. He wants money.
Can I say this?
I want my motherfucking money too. Shit.
Good. I don't want Burns
hold
here.
on. Okay, hold on.
I don't want somebody that's got a lower caliber of professionalism than that. If that's the best he's got, I don't need it.
Man, bro, look. The same way I'm saying Burns was checked out, Bryce Young is checked out. He ain't ready. Checked out too.
Bryce Young ain't never had it to get checked out.
Hold up. Let me let Anthony in. I'm going to hit y'all with the round bell again. Go ahead, Anthony.
Okay, so I've been thinking about this. Okay, first off, I was at the Minnesota game. Brian Burns doesn't do shit versus top tier tackles. Okay, I watched it live. I watched every single play.
Oh, man, here we go, man.
No, I'm trust my eyes, Juan. I'm sorry.
Brian Burns shit fest now.
No,
okay.
it's not a shit fest. I'm just telling you. Okay. Second thing is, I thought about it, and honestly, I don't want Fitter to make a move because he's gonna jeopardize our future. And if we are to get a wide receiver later on, I want another GM to make the trade. So, I take back what I said. Even if we could get a top-tier guy for Brian Burns, reality is, T. Higgins, he's probably not going to want to sign here again. We would have to get a guy that's still on a rookie contract so we at least know that he's under contract with us. T. Higgins isn't going to want to re-sign to an 0-17 team, 1-16. So, again, I know Fitter sucks. The best thing we can honestly hope for, and I know this is going to sound really crazy, is we're not going to win these 2 games, but in a way, I kind of hope that we lose him so Fitter can leave sooner. That's the reality of it. I kind of hope so. I don't want him here any longer to have any of the keys to try to do anything to save his job because he's only going to try to jeopardize our future knowing that he's not going to be here longer anyways. And the thing with people that make millions of dollars and they know that the inevitable is they're going to get fired, they'll fuck us over regardless. So I don't want Scott Fitter pulling any strings. And Brian Burns, his value, we should have traded him last year. Twan's right. He's checked out. But if he's checked out, request a trade. Someone will trade for him. Like, if you don't even want to be here and you're still being paid millions of dollars, go somewhere else. You'll thrive somewhere else, just like McCaffrey, just like Moore, just like Baker, just like Sam Darnold will, even if he gets in the game one time. It's crazy. Everyone goes everywhere else to thrive. And this is why I still haven't given up on Bryce Young, because even if he's not the future of this team, he will thrive somewhere else. I can put my money on it just like the other guys. We do not have
Anthony, Brian Burns want.
Can I say one thing? Can I get my thought in here?
Yeah.
Can I jump in?
So how can you be checked out?
Jesus
Wait,
Christ.
hold on. Let me let my man Don jump in. He's been waiting.
Shut up.
Don. Go ahead.
Yeah, shut up. You're fine. Shout out to Josh in the chat. We should have done Ben fired Scott Fitter. Go back to the Sam Darnold trade. Did you guys not go to any games while we had Sam Darnold? Did you guys not watch that atrocious offense ran by that horrible quarterback who was a turnover machine? Scott Fitter should have been fired back then. And then he goes ahead and signs him for his 5th-year option, pays him $18 million. Sam Darnold makes $10,000 per yards last year, and now you guys are pissed off at Scott Fitter. Where you been?
Exactly.
I've been mad at Scott Fitter. He should have done been out the door. He should already been gone. And then look at the offensive line. Let me finish up. Look at the offensive line, okay? Everybody's screaming for Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown had an interview yesterday on Thursday. He said, well, it's on the players for not being able to execute the scheme. Well, we were supposed to be building the scheme to the players. And back in Indianapolis, Frank Reich ran a power run scheme. And if we were running that same power run scheme that Frank Reich used to run, even though we put all the blame squarely on him and none on Thomas Brown, we'd be a lot better off because our players are suited better to run it. We have a historically bad offensive line and a rookie quarterback. What did you guys expect? Now, Bryce goes out there, fumbles the ball, throws interceptions. We lose games off of that, and we're not 2-2 because of it, but yet we want to put Bryce back out on the field in peril behind a historically bad offensive line. Make it make sense, guys. We need to be starting Andy Dalton if you don't believe in the coach. Yeah, put in Andy Dalton if you don't believe in the coaches. If you think Frank Reich's trash, Dalton should be in the game. Okay, I'm good now. Y'all can go on.
No, you spoke the truth right there, bro.
Hey, so look,
why put Bryce Young back out there behind this line to get him hurt? That's what you got. Let Andy Dalton finish the fucking season, bro. If you serious about Bryce Young's future, then let him sit and watch until you get some better talent in here, some better lines, and just let Dalton is at the end of his career.
What does that accomplish, though? Like, what does that accomplish?
Wait, but hold on.
We're not going to
Good.
win
Hold on.
this
Let
year.
Cody go. We're not going to win this year. You're right.
That's why you play Bryce Young if you're not going to.
Look, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let Drew go, and
Somebody
then I
gonna
got
like
two
Bryce
people that
Young
have been
ass
waiting
up,
in the
and I'm gonna say I
background. I
told
want to
you
make
so.
sure that they get in. Bro, everybody chill for a minute, man. One at a time, please. So I'm gonna let Drew go, and then I'm gonna filter. I got two people that have been waiting in the background. I'm gonna get them in too. Go ahead, Drew.
Hey guys, it's been fun. I'm gonna jump off here, but I'm gonna just say this: everybody's talking about. People want to talk about trading for a number one wide receiver for Bryce Young. A rookie quarterback's best friend is his running game.
Yep.
Yeah.
They need to run the damn football,
Say it again,
establish the
Drew.
line of scrimmage, and that is what's going to help Bryce Young.
Say it again, Drew.
Bryce Young can make the throws. That's not the issue. The issue is he's being pressured all the time because everybody knows he's going to drop back 30 plus times a game. Establish the running game, let that man, then let him go back there and make 20 to 25 passes a game.
Yeah.
Until they can figure that out, we're screwed. That's just
stop
bottom
running
line. Brass
Sanders
tacks.
up the middle.
We're screwed. So
Why are we running Sanders up the middle?
Because Reich thinks he's Jonathan Taylor.
To bring anything in, you trade to send something out at this point. We're not going anywhere this year. You acquire assets. You run the damn football and make Miles Sanders earn his damn money. If he gets hurt, screw it. You can cut him out the next year. You got Chuba Hubbard. Honestly, I'd start Chuba at this point because Chuba's more of a downhill runner than Miles Sanders is. If you watch the tape, Miles Sanders takes the ball and he starts jumping side to side. So if Chuba Hubbard takes the ball, he's heading head first into the line.
I'm over this team, bro. I'm over it.
So at this point, if you want to help Bryce Young out, run the damn ball.
Yes,
that's all I got to say, guys. It's been great. I will talk to you guys later, and I'll keep listening.
Drew, you're the man, brother. You know we love you, man. Anytime, come on, man. The show's better with you than without you, bro.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. I'm gonna let Raleigh go, and then I'm gonna filter some people. Go ahead, Raleigh. Oh, my bad. Hang on. You're muted. And my bad. Go ahead. Start over.
All right. To go back with the rule thing, this ain't Reich's picks for a lot of them. And as far as Fitterer, Rule had first pick over who they got, and not really because Tepper was coming behind him and blindsiding him and overriding him. So technically, I got to say it's not all his fault because you know what? When you got somebody basically telling you what to do, how can you be a full GM whenever you don't have control over your player personnel that you can pick?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
kind of the NFL. I mean, that's life in the NFL right now. Jerry Jones runs his team the way he wants to. David Tepper's owner. You just got to get over David Tepper. You ain't getting rid of him. There's no way you can get rid of him. So therefore, there is a way to get rid of Richardson. There is a way to get rid of David Tepper. But you got to know somebody that's going to make a allegation against him. That's the only way you're going to get rid of him.
Shit. I think the hardest part about comparing him to Jerry Jones
in reality, when David Tepper hired Scott Fitterer, he said that one of the reasons why he likes Scott Fitterer, he likes somebody that's going to stand up to him and tell him when he's wrong. Now, so if that is true, then apparently David Tepper and Scott Fitterer agree on a lot more things than they disagree with, if that is true.
Maybe.
Because if so, then if not, then somebody lied. And Scott Fitterer doesn't hurt himself or gain himself to come after and say I disagree with somebody. I remember when we traded up, or Scott or David Tepper coming out and telling everybody that he they wanted to trade to the third or to trade up in the draft, but David Tepper said, "Why go to second or third when you can just go to one?" That is. But let me ask you this: for
But
someone,
who's
let me
to say
finish.
that wasn't Tepper?
I just said it was.
It was.
What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, intelligent GMs, and I mean this literally because I said this the other day. Intelligent, experienced GMs will walk up to the owner and say, "Let's talk for a minute. We can get a better player at this without giving up to that." Now, like I said earlier, that you may not have been here when Cody showed that clip.
Okay.
With Tepper saying all this about a point guard and all that, including Bryce, let's be real. Tepper's not watching film. Tepper ain't researching all this himself. Tepper's been told this by coaches and scouts before he got in front of the media and said all that. And if you go back and watch Scott Fitterer before Tepper made that, that's identical to what Scott Fitterer told everybody on WFNZ, on press conferences, everywhere. That the combine, Scott Fitterer said the exact same quote to multiple people. All Tepper did was watch Scott Fitterer or hear what Scott Fitterer said and said the same exact thing. Just like a lot of fans that came to Friday Free For All said the exact same thing.
He's being a puppet.
Myself.
Now, he's being a puppet.
All that being said, most general managers can say, now, it's still going to be up to the owner to accept that. The owner can always say, well, that's nice, but I still want to go to number one.
Scott Fitter, there are allegations against David Tepper.
But, you know what? And it's not just the draft. Scott Fitterer has yet to bring in any free agent that is worth a crap. He gave Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, he gave Miles Sanders over $6 million per year to play this damn bad.
It was close to it, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. His very first controversial issue, his very first free agent pickups on the first day of free agents are Pat Elflein and Cam Irving.
Hey. Can I say though, once again, like I think that the pushback on the Miles Sanders pickup is kind of bad. Like he was the leading NFL rusher last year
because of his offensive line.
That's I get
why.
that. I get that.
Right.
I get that.
Look at Swift now. It's the same thing. Like
I get that, but when you look at a player like that, you have to try to determine whether it's all the offensive line or some of the player. So while he's the leading, when you looked at Christian McCaffrey and he was one of the rushers he was, did you look at that and say it's the offensive line? No, you didn't.
No, and that's why you
exactly.
Didn't
so when you trade for him, you assume that he's going to do at least the same thing he was doing whenever he was in the place he was before. So I can't blame him totally for that. My thing is like we're trying to compare Tepper to Jerry Jones, and there's a big problem with that because one, like we say now that like
championships,
Jerry Jones has championships, and let me ask you, would you trade the last 5 years of the Dallas Cowboys for the last 5 years of the Carolina Panthers? Because I damn sure would. They have won a Super Bowl, but I damn sure would.
But you know that they're going to be in the playoff run every year.
Y'all talk about how you could that like the coaches are going to Tepper and changing his mind. Well, guess what? Jerry Jones wouldn't do that. Jerry Jones is going to pick the guy he wants, and no matter what, he's the owner of the team. That's who they're going to pick up. So while you can shit on Jerry Jones all you want to, he's got a pretty damn good team right now.
But
they
Greg,
got a pretty good chance to win the Super Bowl.
But Greg,
right now, you know?
But they can't win with his tactics. That's why Dallas will never win with his tactics. He can put together the greatest team, but they don't win. They've only been to the playoffs since they won them Super Bowls about 3 times. They don't win with that type of behavior. You can't win with a guy like that.
They're winning more than we are.
Well, I mean,
I agree with you. That's not the best for the franchise. I agree.
But it all comes down to the discretion of the owner. If you have an owner that's putting his dick into everything and not actually giving good advice, which why would David Tepper give good advice? He knows nothing about football.
You don't know shit about the
game. Whereas at least Jerry Jones has been in love with football for over 30 years now or some shit. So I mean, I understand that to a point. Look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to introduce two people into the show, let them get some comments off, and then we got to take care of some business. Next up, my man, he was on the film room with me and Panther Pickle, and if I do say so myself, he did a damn good job. It's my guy, Cole. Cole, what's up, bro?
What up, Cole? What's going on? All my brothers here on a Friday night. What's going on? How are y'all doing?
Happy to have you, man. How you feeling, dude?
I'll be very quick with my two takes I want to get off because I know we're talking about the wide receiver, if we need to trade for one or not. You do need to trade for that damn wide receiver because you are not going to draft what you could potentially trade for right now, and we need that talent, and it's not for right now. This is for next year and going forward with Bryce Young. We need that shit terribly. It cannot be understated how much we really do need that shit. So if it's cost Brian Burns, Cody, it costs Brian Burns. I was with the pay Burns crowd. But when me and you and Pickle started watching that tape and we saw those plays that he takes off, yes, I will say that again. Brian Burns did take plays off in that film we watched yesterday and the day before. Just that's not $30 million production. It's not $30 million effort. I don't want to pay for it. Like it's my money talking, but you understand what I'm saying. That ain't my money.
No,
I think Burns would be better if he was dropped back to linebacker and we moved someone else into his defensive tackle spot, because with the type of moves that he uses and he comes in on, being he's a straight line rusher, he'd be better off as a linebacker. He does have the speed to do coverage because he does it already. So
He is
why
a
would
linebacker.
He is an outside
He
linebacker.
is a linebacker.
He, right
Cody,
now,
I got
he
one
is-
more very
he-
quick
He,
thing.
he
When
is
you-
a linebacker. Last year he
well,
was a
but
defensive
in
end. This
certain
year he's a
coverage,
linebacker.
but in certain coverage, he's considered a defensive tackle or defensive end.
The tackle.
Cody,
No, he
That's
doesn't
that's
play
the
defense.
3-4.
They also dropping back a lot. Hey, hang on. I got one more person to introduce. My man, Jay the Snake FU. Jay, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? I'm just getting my Tom Cruise on, making me something to drink.
Oh, I hear you, brother. You got that cocktail going. I like that.
Man, I love that movie.
Hey, what you sipping on, bro?
I'm drinking some bourbon right now, and chasing it was Coca-Cola.
Take a shot for me, brother.
Put some hair in the chest right there, boy.
Hell yeah.
Take one for me.
Hell yeah. What you thinking, man?
I mean, I was going to add on to what Drew was saying about, quarterback best friend. He was saying the running game. I'll say another position too is tight end. Just like Camden and Greg Olsen, that connection, bro. Your tight end's your best friend too. I like for him to get Hayden Hurst more involved in the game too, because I ain't really heard much of him this year.
You can't. Frank makes his playbook with a fucking crayon. That's why
Hey,
we
look, man,
suck.
Can we address the elephant in the room, man? Frank Reich's playbook is fucking trash.
Thank you.
It's dog garbage. Yeah. It's
And by
garbage.
the way, I don't have this in front of me right now.
It's non-existent.
Hold on. I don't have this in front of me right now, but somebody found the passing chart for the Colts offense under Matt Ryan at the start of last year. Boy, if that shit don't look identical. They throw so many screens.
They told us
always
not to
affecting
fuck
the
with
middle
Reich.
of the screen. It's like, bro, we tried to get an offensive-minded head coach so that way we're not going to dink and dunk all over the field, and we're still dinking and dunking all over the field. But yeah, man.
We should have hired a defensive coach.
If we're going to call these offensive plays,
Steve
absolutely,
Wilkes.
baby.
We should have hired Steve Wilkes or D'Amico Ryans. D'Amico Ryans, offensive coordinator, learned everything he learned off Kyle Shanahan. We missed that one. We should have hired both of them two.
He turned
He
down an interview to interview with the Carolina Panthers.
He sure did.
Which one?
D'Amico Ryans.
Can you blame him?
Hey, hold on. Time
Hey,
out,
Cole,
y'all.
say it with me.
Wait,
Nobody
hold on.
wants to come here.
Come on, but wait a minute. Bro, to my man KG73s, he says y'all are way too down on this team for real. Bro, we're 0-4, brother.
How many do you need to get concerned?
Give me a reason.
The Panthers have the number 1 pick in the draft, and it doesn't belong to us.
Yeah.
How are y'all not down? How are y'all not down on this team even more than you are, man? Like, don't, dude. Everybody's upset, man. Like to blame people for for feeling upset at this team, bro. It's like everybody had high expectations, and you can say that was fair or unfair, right? But for 5 years now, the Panthers have yet to field an offense. Bro, we're allowed to be pissed off.
This tea.
Straight up. Everyone has a right to be pissed off.
Absolutely.
I found the allegations against David Tepper.
Hey, Pickle, I'm just gonna keep sipping this tea, man.
But hang on, Andy,
y'all
I'm
don't even see it coming.
In
It's about to get a lot worse. Hey, Pickle, but look, Pickle, back me up when I say this, and I'm done. Pickle, did I not say if you move Burns from his edge spot and try to fuck around and play him at this linebacker shit, it was gonna fuck with his game?
But I thought the 3-4 was more suited to him. That's what everyone was telling me in the
Did I not say that moving him from edge was gonna fuck up his game?
Yeah, you said that.
I'm just gonna sip this tea right here.
But I mean, in reality, I see. Truthfully speaking, folks, people want to comment about last year all the goddamn fucking day. It don't mean shit. Last year we ran a 4-3. When Wilkes took over, we ran a 4-3 and a power run game. Wilkes was real simple. Wilkes said, "Icky, see that guy? Knock him on his ass." And that's all Icky did.
Yeah. Yep.
And this offense, they say, "Icky, block this guy and go over here," and you got this zone concept. He goes, "Huh?"
Basically.
Huh?
You can't sugarcoat the shit we're dealing with.
I mean, let's be real, folks. That's why I said it earlier. In the draft, they said Icky was bad at pass blocking. But Icky wasn't drafted to run Thomas Brown's offense.
Not at
so
all.
we're gonna just keep
Icky
going.
was never drafted to run Thomas Brown's offense. He wasn't drafted to run Scott. He wasn't drafted to run Frank Wright's offense. So therefore, Icky's a guy who doesn't fit what they want to do. Icky's got two choices. He can either adapt or move.
We don't want to have this conversation.
I project after this coming season, he'll be moved to guard.
He'd be a Pro Bowler, Pickle. He would be a Pro Bowl left guard right now as we speak.
If he learns to pass block. If you get somebody beside him at tackle that's worse, I mean, please help me, correct me. How many years did we look for a replacement at left tackle? Do you think it's going to come easy?
No. We never solved that problem.
No, I was about to say we still are.
Can I say this now? Can I say this?
Yeah, I got to filter some people in, and then I got to take care of some business. Cody. No, you're good, bro. Go ahead, Ant.
Okay, so I think the problem also, one, I found the allegations. David Tepper fucking stole this city's heart. That's the allegation to get his ass out of Charlotte. And second thing is the Panthers, they look at other teams, they're like, oh, we can be a pass heavy offense. Oh, we can do what the Dolphins do. Oh, we can do what this team does. We can throw the ball 50 times and win. Yeah, not when you don't have Patrick Mahomes and all these elite, amazing players. That's the problem with Frank Reich's system. He treats Miles Sanders like Jonathan Taylor. He treats his offensive line like the one he had in 2020 in Indy. He treats everything like he has the same personnel. And that's why he went in, him and Scott Fitter went in and got these low end players, and they're trying to stick a square and a circle peg. It's bullshit. And this is the main problem. He doesn't know how to get out of his way and adjust to what we have. Someone brought it up. Steve Wilkes knew the strengths of this team. Running the ball in a 4-3 defense. He played it very simple, but it was the strengths of what we could do at the time. That we're not seeing this, we're not maximizing these players' potentials. And that's ultimately why Steve Wilkes should have been back. Because we were finally building something. We were finally building something.
Hey, Anthony, that entire trifecta. When I say the Holy Trinity, what am I saying, D's, when I say the Holy Trinity? Tepper, Scott, and Reich, all three, none of them know what they're doing, but none of them are going to admit to that shit. None of them.
Yeah. Hey, so look, I gotta do some business here. First, let me introduce my man, Stats, to the building. Welcome back, Stats. Happy to have you, bro.
Hey, what up? How you guys?
How you doing, man? And then, how you feeling, dude?
Same boat. I mean, I've been listening to you guys for an hour and a half now, and you kind of covered exactly every feeling that there is to feel.
Yeah, right.
For real.
And then my man, the Bat Daddy, the Stat Daddy, he's getting ready to jump up off of here. Greg, you know I appreciate you, bro. So
Yeah, man.
Yeah, talk to me, man. Give me your final. Hey, so if you're gonna jump off of the show, then give me your final thoughts and give me your prediction for
Much love, Greg.
Okay. Panthers going forward like this Sunday, like the prediction for the game, or like
just straight up win loss.
Okay. I appreciate you having me on, man, and I'm very sorry. My daughter got her driver's license today.
Bro,
She
no
drove
need to
work,
apologize, man.
I'm super anxious right now for her to get home. So yeah, that's all I can really think about right now. I think that honestly, I think that it really depends on what's going on with Detroit. Because if you look at Detroit right now, Jameson Williams went from healthy to questionable. St. Brown might not play. Reynolds might not play. So I think that if those three players don't play and Marvin Jones is their only wide receiver, there's a chance that Carolina could put up 21 points and maybe win that game. But beyond that, I don't think there's really any chance of Carolina winning this game. Detroit has a very strong offense. They're very well coached. They're not the best defense ever, but we don't have a very good threatening offense, so I'm not too worried about that. I think overall, Detroit's going to win. I would say 28-17. Detroit.
28. Even with all those absences.
Yeah, maybe they're probable. At least probably 2 or 3 of them will be in there. So I'm going to say 28-17 Detroit. But yeah, we're going to be here for the post-game show, or I'll be here for the post-game show. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Everybody keep pounding, and we're going to get through this. Look, the best option right now, we've already invested into. Look, here's my thing. If you buy a used car and it's a piece of shit, and you've already invested into a few $1,000s into fixing it, is it worth getting rid of the used car and buying something else that might be worse? Or
no, you might as well keep putting money into it.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying with Bryce Young right now. I'm not saying Bryce Young's the answer, but I don't think he's a terrible player. I think that where we're at right now, with how much you've already invested in him, keep investing and see what we can do.
That man's a Honda Civic.
Worst case scenario, we suck for 3 more years, and that's probably what's going to happen anyway. So invest more into him. But I appreciate everything. Y'all keep pounding, and I'll see you Sunday.
Hold up. Can I say this to Greg?
Yeah, Greg. Hold on, Greg. Go ahead.
No, yeah, we got a good fantasy matchup this week. But what I did want to say is that the other part to that is that you don't buy the used car, you save your assets, and then get yourself like maybe a nice BMW if you just wait a couple years. AKA
right, but sometimes in life
you can't wait.
You can't wait a couple of years.
Yep.
I have to get to work every day. I can't wait a couple of years. So sometimes it doesn't work out like that. Yeah.
Take the bus.
Yeah.
I'll catch y'all later.
Take out a loan.
Greg, you're the man, brother.
Go on for the bus.
Appreciate you, man.
Good night, Bad Daddy.
Peace and love, brother. Yeah. So look, man, y'all already know that for we've been talking about this for a while about this receiver thing and whether or not we should trade or not. Oh, you know what? No, let me stop myself. Michael said he wanted to jump in real quick. I think Michael gotta get out of here. Let me let Michael in. Michael, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, okay. So I want to say thank you, Cody. Thanks to everybody for coming on. Hit the like and subscribe button. My Twitter name for everyone that's in the group, it's Mikey WYDRY1847.
Yeah, y'all follow my man on Twitter, bro. Get them Twitter followers up.
Yeah. And my final prediction for the Lions and Panthers game is going to be Lions 34, Panthers 27.
That's not a bad one, man.
At least we're scoring.
Yeah,
That's what I'm about to say.
Michael, I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for being with us tonight,
right.
man.
Deuces,
man,
guys.
prayers up to your grandmother,
Yep.
man. For real.
Yeah, prayers up to your grandma, man. I'm praying tonight
Thank
for
you
her.
guys. Thank you guys.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. All right, later, Michael. Let me welcome someone else in. And then I got to take care of some business, y'all. Y'all know we got great sponsors. My man, Alex, 814 Panthers in the building. Alex, long time no see, brother. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, Cody? Hey, what's going on, fellas? Happy Friday.
Friday.
Hey, Cody,
Yeah.
I got to take off, man.
All right. So, hey, real quick, I know you guys covered a lot. You guys covered a lot today. I was just kind of listening in. But, yeah, I mean, you guys hit on a bunch of points. It's honestly, it's from the top down. We got to tear it. I mean, obviously the owner's going to be there, but it's from the top down management, and it's going to trickle all the way down to our team, to our players. So just like it's funny because Matt Rule, you know, we were clowning him and not saying that he was a great coach or anything, but he's kind of getting the last laugh on this one just because honestly, the team is not that great. It's just not a great team. We don't have an identity, and
neither is Nebraska, though.
Right? No, I agree, but it's real frustrating as a fan to watch this team kind of just. You have decent players in decent spots, but like it's just not all coming together. And you heard it. I mean, even from Cam Newton when he came back, he just he says there's just no leadership on that squad. There's no one on that team that's, you know, taking it by the horns, and there's no leaders on that team. So until that happens, until we figure out management and honestly be patient. I know Twan brought that up. We got to be a little bit more, we got to be patient. It's going to be a long, grueling process, but we got to be patient. And Bryce is our quarterback. And, we got to just roll with him and get the pieces that we need for him and go from there. So,
yeah. No, dude, that was very well said, Alex. I appreciate it, man. And a lot of what you said is right. Panther fans don't want to hear about patience, but that's what you're gonna have with the situation that we're in. Hey, Twan, I appreciate you, brother. If you want to get out of here, go ahead and do your thing now, and then we gotta take care of these sponsors.
Oh no, man!
All
Just
right,
make sure you guys hit the like button, man. Run this show up. Cody, thanks for having me over here. Hope you guys have a great night.
Much love, Twan. Take it easy, brother.
Yeah, man.
Peace, brother. Peace, man.
Yeah, man. Y'all go check out 704 Charlotte Bound Show, man.
Hey, Cody.
Yeah.
Cody, you know what's wrong with a lot of people, especially the men? They get agitated. You know what? They get irritable, agitated. They're frustrated. And what they need to do is invest in Manscaped. Once you shave down there, you'll never feel better.
Oh yeah, man. Invest in Manscaped. Shave your pubes, brother.
That's it, man. You'll never feel better than that. It's always a plus, and the ladies love it, actually.
Oh,
now,
and
if you use promo code Panthers at manscaped.com, you'll save 20%. Try it.
Hey, that's it, man. Use promo code Panthers.
Turns your baby pickle into a man pickle.
But hey, man, you know who else is a sponsor of the C3 Panthers podcast? That's right. It's PrizePicks.com. Y'all need to get on this PrizePicks action, man. Play daily fantasy sports with us, man. Download PrizePicks today. Make sure you use the promo code C3 or use the link below in the description when you sign up. All first-time users that deposit and use our promo code C3 receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. That means if you deposit 100, PrizePicks will give you 100. If you deposit 50, PrizePicks will give you 50. If you deposit 25, PrizePicks will give you 25. You already know what it is. Use that promo code C3. And let me tell you, I have learned my lesson on these projections for the Panthers. I am not going heavy on picking any of these Panthers, man. Right now, I'm looking at some of the numbers. They got Bryce Young at 225.5 passing yards, 1 interception. Chuba Hubbard at 28.5. That's not too bad if you ask me, man.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
How many reps is he gonna get though?
Cody, does this site tell
Hell,
you the
even if he got
rankings?
5, he'd get that.
The reason why the rankings, the reason why I asked that, I heard on the radio today, and it was a local Charlotte radio station. They said that Detroit is excellent against the run, kind of average or below average against the pass, but they're excellent against the run. So that may be why his is a little low. See what I'm saying? I don't know. I haven't checked any rankings or anything, but that's what I was told today.
I know that Aiden Hutchinson's good. That dude ain't no joke.
But they also said it was misleading, Pickle, as far as those as far as against the run.
Yeah.
All right, so look, I'm gonna take a couple Panthers. I'm gonna do Chuba. Bro, should I do more or less than 28.5? Help me out, chat. I'm trying to win some
If he don't get
my prize picks, man.
if he don't get 5 reps, then he definitely ain't getting that. I mean,
if he gets 5, he'll get it.
Are we doing Panthers? Just Panthers? Because
Yeah, I mean, right now, I'm just looking at Panthers. I got Adam Thielen at 52.
I'd say over for Adam.
Say over. I'm starting Adam Thielen.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
been
I'd
over
say
the past
over.
3 games.
Cody,
I'm comfortable with that. Yeah,
I'd say over for Chuba also because the way Reich was talking about changing some things up and going more heavy on the run, I think he can pick it up.
And Miles dealing with that growing injury, right? Or what's he dealing with exactly?
Exactly.
But let me ask you all this though: which one did you feel better? I'm not gonna go a whole Panther entry.
Yeah, don't.
But
Please don't.
No. And I already put in another one too. But we also have Bryce Young, and he's essentially at 2 touchdowns. He has to get 2 touchdowns.
Don't bet on Bryce.
Why do you want to bet with the Panthers now?
He missed that last week, didn't he?
Yeah.
Let him go.
I wouldn't personally, just because like it could go either way. I mean, this could
I
be
wouldn't
the
take
one
Bryce.
game where they actually it goes against what they have been doing statistically, but also they've just been doing poorly. So it's
Stats
I just think it's a tough call.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we
can hear you.
Or you just take all the Lions players and make money. That's
Cody, you know which stat line of Bryce you need to take, but I'm not going to tell you to do it.
Oh damn, you're talking about that INT, aren't you, bro?
Oh, I would take that. That's a given.
All right, Cody.
I am, my good brother.
Yeah.
You say that, but he didn't throw an interception last week, did he? It was a fumble.
He didn't throw an interception. He's only thrown interceptions in one game.
I found the answer.
All right, go ahead.
It says Detroit's defense took considerable steps this offseason to be a more consistent group. They're seeing the fruits of their labor starting the 2023 season. Through 4 games, the Lions are ranked number 4 in total defense, allowing just 280.5 yards per game. They also have the top rushing defense in the league.
Oh wow! All right, no Chuba. That makes that
No
damn
Chuba.
easy.
Well, they got to play him regardless, even if they play him 10 plays. Because Miles is hurt.
Is Miles out for the game?
Wait, hold on. Wait, go ahead.
No, he's not listed as out.
Well,
go ahead,
he's
go ahead,
been
go
hurt.
ahead,
He's
Zach.
been hurt for several games, and he still gets more carries than Chuba does.
I think it depends on one
He should,
factor.
he shouldn't though. He shouldn't get any carries if it's the way he's been playing. Just if he's hurt is the reason why he's not playing.
I
good,
agree, Pickle.
Then just bench
I
him
agree.
until he gets healthy.
All right, hold on. Wait, let me go to stats. Go ahead, stats.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, man.
I think it depends on one factor, and that factor is going to be whether or not they do end up committing to the run game. They keep speaking about it every week, but then they go ahead and not commit to it. So, and then when they did commit to it, they were still giving Sanders most of the carries. If you want to gamble with them finally saying, okay, let's go all in this time, Chuba gets like 80% of the carries, and let's just try to run the ball and mimic as close to what we did last year when we won. Which, I mean, what are the odds that they're going to do that? That's the key to probably winning the game. But what are the odds to doing that?
I think it's better as far as not better than last year, but it's a better chance.
Cody, I like the Panero line.
Oh, the
Eddie can get two.
five,
Eddie can get 2 field goals. That's what it would take.
Oh,
to
he's
win
getting
that one.
2. He's getting 2. Hell, he might get 4.
Isn't that what it would take to win that one? Or no? Am I reading that wrong? What is kicking points? Is that field goals?
No, I believe
6
it's
points.
just points.
Hey,
Five
Cody,
field
what,
goals.
uh,
And then extra points, he gets a point too for that shit.
So yeah, the past 2 games in a row, he's been over 5
I'm taking
points.
that. I'm taking that.
Yeah,
I like that line.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Cody,
It don't help
what
us, but I
about,
like that line.
Projection.
what about
Yep, you're right.
What about Hayden Hurst? Being they know we've been throwing so much to Thielen, and I mean next to that, as far as middle of the field, Hurst might get a few more catches this game.
Hayden Hurst has been a ghost.
I know. That's what I was about to say,
That's why
dude.
I'm saying.
You
That's
know
what
he's
I'm
mad
saying.
because
Oh,
he's not even getting schemed his way. Like it's not the ball's not even schemed his way.
Thielen's getting all his plays.
Well, hey man, look, Anthony recommended look at Detroit, so that's what we're doing now. They got Jared Goff at 1.5 passing touchdowns. They have Aiden Hutchinson at basically
He get at least 1 sack.
0.75.
He's getting at least 1 sack.
Well,
He's gonna get
this might not be a good idea either, just because if our offense doesn't do anything, then our defense has. Have you noticed that when our offense succeeds, the defense flattens, and it's vice versa? So if our
Yeah.
offense is stagnant, there's a high percent chance that our defense comes out and actually looks like incredible. Or
I
decent.
still think what's it? 1.5 touchdowns for Goff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
1.5. And we have to, we got to say more or less.
But if he
I'd
passes
say
it,
more.
right?
If he what stats?
If he passes it, but haven't we been weak against the run game? If they get touchdowns, I think they're going to get more from the run game than they will
Rush
from
it,
the passing.
absolutely.
Good call.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna be real. I'm not feeling very comfortable with the Bryce Young, just because I want him to get more. Like you notice, it's not a 0.5. So essentially, my man has to get 2 passing touchdowns. And
Yeah.
I just
I'll
don't
take you
even
get 2
know.
passes.
I
I'll
don't-
take you
I
getting that.
don't- I just
That's
don't
good.
know
I'll
if
take you
that-
getting that.
if that's realistic right now, man.
Personally, I
Go
started Sam Laporta on my fantasy league this week.
Yeah.
Detroit's tight end.
Oh, I forgot that's where he went to.
You know what?
Alright.
Jared Goff's going to get 2 touchdowns on us.
Oh yeah.
Where did
He
that?
is.
Y'all
He
ain't
will.
even
I'm
looking
sorry.
at
I'm
what about-
sorry, but he will.
do they not have rushing yards for David Montgomery?
I'm gonna look. Hold up.
Well, can't you just
No,
take
they,
that 1 point?
no, they really don't. They don't have anything for David Montgomery.
They already
Where did
know.
that Notre Dame tight end go to in a draft?
Sam Laporta.
he
They
went to
got
the Raiders.
Jack Fox.
Is he any good this year?
No, man, they sure as heck don't.
Can't you take
You
that
might
1.5
wanna look at,
pass touchdown and do under, so that you think he's getting under
The
1.5?
less you mean which one?
Yeah, like less than 1.5, less than 2.
Oh, on Bryce.
Bryce?
Bryce throwing less than 2 touchdowns.
Oh yeah. You can.
The
You can do
under.
more or less. Yeah, you do more or less.
I wouldn't take that still. I wouldn't take nothing on
I
him,
was saying
period.
golf under
Whatever
under
Mc-
1.
whatever
Oh, my God.
McCaffrey's
Golf
doing.
under. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if they're running the football.
I
So
heard
you're
some
saying,
boys-
because they're running the football. Dude, I just don't trust it, man.
I wouldn't do that either. I would not do that
Still
either because
iffy.
our corners are garbage.
Let me hit this one. I do think Hutchinson will have more
like
than
Didn't one of the corners get an interception last game?
Oh yeah, especially if Hutchinson's going up
Yeah.
against Icky. Oh yeah.
And the Vikings tend to throw it more. They're more
Well,
passing.
yeah, well,
offense.
actually, he'll be up against Taylor Moton more than anything.
I
else.
trust Taylor Moton more than Icky right now.
I know
Is
that.
there,
I
is
don't
there a
trust any
sack
of them.
lineup on Bryce?
Is what?
Is there a sack lineup for Detroit on Bryce?
No. No,
Just
no,
don't
no.
know the Bears.
I miss Jordan Gross, bro.
Goff's going to probably be
Oh
missing
man.
Brown too, so I don't know.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, all right.
They're missing receivers. I'd take him off though. Goff's kind of a. I like the Hutchinson, but Goff is. I don't know.
He's hit and miss, but yeah, I'd say he'd at least get 2 touchdowns.
All right,
I
man,
wish Cam Newton would have had Jordan Gross for a couple more years than what he did.
All right, man. Look, I placed my entries for today, man. I got Adam Thielen at more than 52.5. I have Eddie Pinheiro at more than 5 kicking points. Jared Goff at less than 1.5 passing touchdowns. And Aiden Hutchinson at more than 0.75 sacks. I also did one earlier.
3/4 of a sack.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody, can we make a bet here? I'll bet you $50 that Goff gets more than the 1.5.
The 1.5, yeah. I bet he does too. But I ain't taking the money bet, but I bet he gets more than that too.
No, I hear you, Raleigh, but the fact that they're out so many wide receivers, I'm just hoping that their plan is going to be to run the ball. But no, you're right. Without luck, I wouldn't doubt it at all. But hey, hold on real quick. My other one was Trevor Lawrence at more than 1.5, either passing, rushing, or receiving touchdown. Stephon Diggs and Calvin Ridley together. I have them, both of them together, more than 138.5. CJ Stroud, more than 1.5 passing touchdowns versus the Atlanta Falcons. And have Tyreek Hill.
That's a good bet.
Yeah,
that's a good bet.
And I have Tyreek Hill at less than 6.5 receptions for the Miami Dolphins, bro. Listen, I already said it before. We love PrizePicks. Your boy won $130 just a week ago, man. So listen, download PrizePicks, play daily fantasy sports, use the promo code C3 when you sign up. All first-time users that receive our promo code receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. If you deposit $100, PrizePicks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, PrizePicks will give you $50. Shout out to PrizePicks.com. And let me welcome some people into the show, man. My man Kyle, 910 Panther. What's up, bro?
Hey, man, chilling. Just got done working and was enjoying the show while I was working and run home and decided to hop on, you know.
Man, swagged out. Look at him.
Got the
I like the Metallica shirt.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bro. Also, yeah, man, let me also welcome in my man CPG into the building. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, guys?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
Hoping for an any given Sunday game this week. Because that's the
I
only
heard that, man. I heard that. Hey, let me start with Kyle. Kyle, do you think the Panthers should be looking to trade for a wide receiver right now? Tell me what it is, bro.
No.
Tell me why.
No. So, like, do you think even Justin Jefferson comes in here and changes this team in any way, shape, or form for any considerable, like, leverage towards wins at the end of the season? Like, do you think even the best receiver in the league changes this team that much that they're going to win more games, like a considerable amount? Because I don't. I think we have way more holes than just one receiver.
Yeah, I hear you, man. And we don't have a bunch of draft capital.
Right.
And yes, Federer has not done very well drafting, so I understand why some people might want a more proven commodity. But at the same time, like, we need another linebacker. We need another defensive tackle. We need another corner.
We need every position. Every position.
We have so much that we need right now, man. It's just, it's not the time, in my opinion, to be trading late picks.
And
what happened with Justin Houston with us bringing him in?
He's washed.
He turned out to be old and shitty.
He's just old.
YGM is. I mean, I didn't expect it, but YGM has been tearing it up. He's been doing more than Burns this year.
Hey, me and Panther Pickle can attest to that.
Yeah, I watched the film.
Bro, y'all have to check out every
It's
Thursday.
really good, y'all.
Every Thursday now, me, Pickle, and my man Cole, we're putting out in-depth all 22 film review. So
Hell
we're
yeah.
going through everything, man. If y'all want to listen, the free-for-all is where we can argue about Brian Burns. But the film, there's no arguing, man. We're watching the
Amen,
film.
Cody.
We're
Amen.
watching the film, and we're showing you what's really happening with the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. So everyone, please check that out every Thursday right here on the C3 Panthers pod. CPG, jump in on this, man. How you feeling about trading for a wide receiver?
I don't think it's going to help at this point. We just want to see progression from Bryce week to week, and we don't have the capital. We need to build back up draft picks at this point. But on a unrelated note, I was going to say, I don't know if you remember, Cody, or not. I said after we lost last week in the post game, I said YGM had a really good game. I think he's a way better fit as a 3-4 linebacker than a 4-3 edge rusher.
Well, but you know what else they've been doing? They've been lining him up at 3 technique.
Yeah,
they've been putting him at
scheme is a
defensive
lot better
tackle.
for YGM.
Yeah.
And he's been owning people at D tackle.
Right. Okay. Putting YGM on the line, I think that's been the best thing for him. And dude, he's been aggressive. Dude, his numbers are even similar to Nick Bosa. Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, like, I don't know what a lot of people expected, just because, like, when Scott Fitterer did say, like, we're just gonna drop a quarterback, to me, yes, it's frustrating that he said that, but then also it didn't make sense because a lot of the personnel from the ending of the year last year was like, obviously Steve Wilkes, Deontay Foreman, we're just not built for, like, to pass protect for Bryce to throw 40 times. Like, our line's not. We have like a mid-level line, maybe even below mid-level, honestly. But
They're a lot better at run blocking.
Yeah, there's just no. We can't be trading for wide receivers. I mean, that's not gonna move the needle. It might get us a couple wins, but it's not gonna move the needle. And I mean, it just, man, we gotta have to try to figure out what we want as far as, like, establish, like, some sort of identity. Like, is it going to be Bryce, like, throwing the ball 40 times? Like, if that's going to be the case, then we got to, like, next year, like, we got to build the line. We got to, like, establish some sort of run.
Commit.
Commit to something.
We got to commit.
Hey, I saw this on Twitter yesterday. I was wondering, for context, has Bosa played every game this year?
No.
Yes.
Well, I mean, he ain't played all his full snaps like he normally does.
No, but he
played every game.
He played every game.
Yeah, he played every game. You're right.
People post that shit on Twitter with no context all the time.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, he's played in every game this year.
I'm still taking Nick Bosa over.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure any of us would. That's not even a debate.
Yeah, this is not like.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah, go ahead, Satch.
Well, you gotta wonder at this point. I mean, I can't see what the upside of doing this would have been, but, like, the level of incompetence, it just makes you wonder if anything is purposeful. I know a few people kind of touched on Tepper, maybe intentionally making some decisions for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I just can't make sense of any of it as to why we are the way we are right now. And
Tepper's dipping his fingers into the bowl too much.
Way too much.
I think a little bit, it's from upper management down, and there's no real leadership, even in the locker room. I don't think there's a real leader in that team. I think the best one I could, like, think of, and he's not on the field, is Shaq Thompson. Other than that, I don't really know who our true leader is on Carolina. I mean, like, back in the day, we had, like, Ryan Khalil, Jordan Groves.
We had multiple leaders.
Thomas Davis. We had a lot of like leaders on that team. Like this team. Maybe Brian Burns. So I don't know. We don't really have a lot of leadership on this team. Guys to look at, like to follow, to mentor. Like I don't know. I know we're trying to look at Thielen and stuff like that, but
I feel like
no, you're 100% right. And if you were to ask me right now, who's the best leader on our team, I'm probably gonna say Frankie Louvu. Would I be wrong for that? Because I don't think
I was gonna say you say that, but I would think. I mean, I thought he would be a more leader than what he is right now. I mean, I know he's a leader, but God, I want to see more of that. I mean, because there ain't nobody else besides him. You got to do something.
We're not saying that Louvu is underperforming, is it?
Well, Woods in the backfield. Woods in the backfield's a little bit when he's on the field.
I kind of want to say Derek Brown. You saw him chasing Michael Thomas through the tunnel.
Yeah, if I may say,
Speaking of chasing,
if I may say real quick, I think our best leader right now, to be honest, is Derek Brown.
Yeah.
But remember, some of the guys you mentioned, we drafted, and Luke, for example, Luke and Thomas Davis learned to be leaders from Dan Morgan.
And Cam is there too, right? And his personality is like.
And Pepper when he's around.
And
what about John Beeson?
And well, that's what I said. That's what I meant. Yeah, John Beeson, and for that, John Beeson learned it from Dan Morgan. So
I got John Beeson jersey.
You develop your leaders as they go, and what I'm trying to say is we quit drafting leaders.
Right.
We quit drafting. We started drafting whoever.
I think it was
we quit
the culture
drafting.
was
I mean,
killed off.
we just did. We stopped drafting leaders.
Did you hear about? Did you see the interview that Cam had on? I forget the player from
RG
Washington.
podcast. Yeah,
AJ Wright.
Not RG3 podcast. It was the other podcast.
AJ Wright podcast.
Yeah. And he was talking about one of the questions. It wasn't one of the highlighted ones that people were sharing a whole lot of, but he was asking him about, AJ was asking Cam, I guess, about when new players came in, did you guys have a say in any of it? And he was like, yeah, we definitely did. And then Cam wasn't questioned about this part, but he felt to include it. And he went on to say, but all that kind of went out. And then he stopped himself. He said, no disrespect toward him, but that kind of went out the window when Tepper came in. And to his, to his extent, though, he didn't. I don't even think Tepper knew that was something that was going on. But you figure if you bought a fucking team that expensive, you would ask some fucking questions, and be like, oh, hey, how does the culture work around here? I would like to try to assimilate as much as I possibly can, and develop it. And he came in with the mindset. How many times did he say, don't have a winning culture? And his whole mindset was wrong from the get-go. I think it's arrogance, but I don't know.
You remember?
Yeah, when I was trying to get rid of the.
If I could or just remind or speak something else too. What's the one thing Tepper did? I mean, when Tepper come in, it wasn't too long after Tepper come in that he fired Ron Rivera and hired Matt Rule.
And I tried to get rid of the keep poundage chant too for a while.
And when Tepper came in, I think there was a void of because when Tepper come in, Tepper immediately said, we're switching to a 3-4. And half of these guys had spent their entire career playing a 4-3. We were really good defense in a 4-3. But because he was familiar with a 3-4 from Pittsburgh, he thought it should be run that way here. And he's still stuck on it because we're doing it right now. And he purposely went out to hire a 3-4 guy. So, I mean,
not to mention,
we're stuck
Tepper
in it.
admitted this offseason when he was talking about drafting Bryce, he admitted he's still learning how to be an owner of a team. Like that, bro, that's a fucking
He's
joke.
basically Jerry Jones.
That was my biggest fear with Tepper was having Jerry Jones 2.0, but I'm
and that's what we got.
It's like a kid that owns a Toys R Us, and you're like, oh, cool, I get to play with all the toys, and like I get to mess around with everything. It's great. And then you're like, your business revenue goes down in the first few months, and you're like, oh shit, and you don't understand
He's a
concepts.
billionaire from hedge funds, not football. You know.
Right, and they're not similar businesses.
And by the way, in that clip I played earlier of him saying, "Oh, well, Bryce is a point guard, so Bryce doesn't need to have the best receivers, and we can spend more money on our defense." And blah, 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 blah.
He's a
Like,
rookie.
you know that's nothing that he knew. It was everything that was told to him. And if that is indeed true, then that speaks even worse on Federer, who for the past 3 years has been the sole constant in building rosters for the past 3 years that have been failing to compete year in and year out.
Did you pick up on the?
I'm done with Federer, and I want to use our draft picks that we have for another general manager to try and improve upon what we're doing.
Did you pick up
Cody,
on when he
Cody,
in that
can I
same video? I was going to say he talked about money.
What you said?
In that video, he talked about money. That was like the main. You can tell by the way he was talking about his money, and then it goes back to the grass thing and the turf. It's like he is mainly focused on the monetary value of the team. I get it. You're coming from business and you want your investment to succeed, but the way you do that is by caring about the people in the organization.
Mm-hmm.
That's how this
And
works.
caring about your players.
That's what I was
Not to
referring
mention
and the
how
fans and the all of it.
Federer's failed at drafting, right? Everybody keeps saying that, but let's talk about all the horrible trades Scott Federer has made.
Oh yeah,
C.J. Henderson for one.
I said it earlier.
DJ Moore, C.J. Henderson, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield.
I said it earlier in the show that for the life of me, you stop and try to think about it. Scott Federer hasn't done anything right. The closest thing that you can say he did right was bring in Frankie Louvu, and he didn't. Nobody expected if he brought Frankie in to be a special teamer.
You know what, Pickle? Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
You're exactly right. You're 100% right. So that's why I don't give him a lot of credit for Frankie, but because it's like that. What's that dude? Cam Gruger Hill.
Yeah, he's been playing lights out too.
Yeah, they brought him in to be a special teamer, just like Frankie. And like I said, a broken clock is right twice.
Yep.
So it's not that he purposely. If you add up the plus and the minuses, it's like here's Scott Federer's pluses and here's his minus.
Yep.
You know, they're not even close at all.
Sean Jameson is one of the few bright spots. The way he handled Justin Jefferson last week.
Do you think Dan Morgan would be so much better than Scott Federer though right now?
I don't know. That's
but
what
Dan
I said.
Morgan actually played, so
I think.
I'm scared he might have got poisoned by Tepper at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Cole. That's what my problem is. I'm scared that he's been poisoned.
My fault.
Yep.
He's been sitting in there with him for too long doing dumb shit.
But at the same time, Dan, if you don't know what you don't know. You don't know whether Dan's agrees because he has to, or whether it's I wouldn't have done that, but you guys are in charge. And then you walk out in front of the cameras, and Dan has to smile and shake his hand and act like everything's hunky dory.
I want Dan Morgan, a football player, as a GM.
I hope Tepper leans on Dan's opinion. Then,
but there's also a guy named Adrian Wilson.
Yeah, from the Cardinals.
That's our player personnel guy. So if Scott's fired midseason, I would expect Dan to get it, but there's no guarantee he keeps it. Because see, there was a time when the first time they fired Marty Herney, they let this guy, everybody like scratch their hands. Who did this? Some Bean guy do it? He did a great job.
Bean. I would love to have.
And then they hired David Gettleman. David Gettleman did a shitty job, in my opinion. And then a few years later, then one off season, they let Bean go, and they let McDermott go, and then a few months later they fired Gettleman and rehired Marty Herney.
McDermott was our best defensive coordinator.
That was the worst mistake.
Hey, Pickle, how is all the Buffalo people doing that they got from us?
Oh, dude, they're fucking.
They're all doing great.
They living
They're
in
all doing great.
riches
man.
right now.
And by
Even
the
the
way,
damn management
like,
goes to better places.
like man, think about it, dude. Look, their head coach and GM, who has put together playoff teams just about every year, and we had them both in our building.
Yeah,
they were
Just
both
look at all
ours.
the
They were all
teams around the
Panthers.
league.
I
that
felt
have
like that
front
for years,
office
Cody.
or
Who we
players
should have
from
as our front office and people in management are up there in Buffalo, and maybe one or two
Yep.
in New York. I don't
all
know
of
if
our
they're still
former
there or
front
not.
office people and our players are succeeding elsewhere. What does that tell you?
I'm
Y'all remember
curious
Dean
about-
Marlowe?
That's always been the case. I'm curious about something.
Not Dean Marlowe.
I do
In the
remember
case
Dean
of-
Marlowe.
He
in
went
case
to
of Matt
Buffalo and
Rule-
played good though.
With
It's
Matt
kind
Rule,
of
it sounded
funny
like
how.
Hold on, Riley. Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
with Matt Rule, it sounded like Tepper gave Matt Rule. I mean, the articles written were that he gave him the keys of the kingdom, right? And so, are we believing 100% that this is all factual and that now it's kind of the opposite? And Tepper's like, "Oh, okay, I probably shouldn't have done that," and so now he's kind of interjecting himself more than he was the first time around.
Yeah, but I do.
It depends
from the
on
way
it depends on how much he trusts Fitterer. Does he trust Fitterer to make all the moves for this team? And I don't think he does, because I think Fitterer is just his lapdog, and that's dangerous.
Cody, I got a very quick prime example that will support that opinion, and
Yeah,
Pippen can
go
back
ahead.
me up on that. When they were doing the radio interviews, and when Kyle Bailey and Steve Smith and talking about everybody was on the hot seat and seats getting warmer and stuff like that, you could tell, because they said that David Tepper is calling around the league and asking other people what he should do. Like, that is crazy.
He don't know
to
shit.
me.
He don't
They
know
legit
shit
said
about
that
football.
on the radio. They said he is
That's what I was gonna
contacting his
say.
sources around the league to see what he
Until
should do.
David Tepper puts his ego to the side, we're all going to have to eat shit, for lack of a better term.
Yep, absolutely.
I just find that crazy.
Yeah,
There's
it
one
was.
possibility.
If you're, let's hypothetically say the neighbor, or somebody that you really don't like. And the fact is, if they suffer a little bit, you kind of feel good about it. They keep calling and asking. No. The better analogy is this: you say you have a guy that you work with. You needed his promotion. The guy you work with is going to get it because the boss likes him better. But you have to give this guy a ride back and forth to work. What happens when you say, my car's acting up, I won't be able to pick you up? But you make it into work. This happens for a couple of days, so you get the promotion instead of him. So ask if David Tepper's call around to all these other owners and all these other folks across the league on what should I do. It's a competition, folks.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell David Tepper one thing.
Yeah,
I'm going to say what you need to do is trade your best wide receiver and go get that quarterback from Alabama.
Directly
Best
to
thing
me.
ever coming.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
100%.
surprised,
I
Pickle.
question why Jerry Richardson picked David Tepper every day, man.
Well, Tepper could have what happened with Jerry Richardson, and I don't think he did. If you remember correctly, there were several bid. It was like kind of like not a bid war, but there were a few faces in the mix, and the NFL had to select, right? So it had to go to like
it was
committees, and
easier
they
on
got
the
to
NFL.
select.
Yeah.
So, but here's the other thing that I was thinking about is we could always hope for a scandal from Tepper to the point where he has to sell it and is pressured. But then, you toss
I
it
mean,
up in the
look
mix
how long
to-
it took for Dan Snyder to have to sell, man.
Yep. I just think you're right. We're just going to have to accept Tepper.
Oh yeah,
until Tepper realizes,
Tepper's one of us until otherwise.
Until Tepper realizes that they're not really helping me.
He's got to
He
get
wants
over
to
it.
start hitting on
He
Tepper
learns
and
that I have to trust the folks I hire, or hire the folks that I mean,
Let them do their job.
right?
Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
The higher
I wanted to play this. This is Frank Reich talking on how he wants the offense to change and what he wants the Panthers to lean on moving forward.
Yeah, I mean,
That
we
he
want to
needs
be a
to change,
multiple
Cody.
offense, right? We want to be a multiple personnel groups, multiple formations, moving around a little bit. Want to have a balanced attack. The vision is always to be in the top half of the league and running because really believe that at the end of the day, if you want to be a championship football team, most of the time you have to be good running the football. You don't have to be the best in the league at running the ball, but you got to be effective running the ball. So many good things come off that. It helps pass protection, helps your play action game. So, and then the different ways, because Bryce is our quarterback, he has a gift where, we can get more and more into some of the RPO stuff, and he can do all the advantage throws, and he can wheel and deal, create some space for him to be creative. Those are all things that will.
Well, why doesn't Frank stop running up the gut with Miles Sanders over and over and over?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Point, right?
Oh, boy. Hey, let me bring in my man, Don. Jump in on this convo, man. What do you think about Frank saying that we want to be able to run the football better than we have been?
Give it to Chuba.
I don't know. Bro, yeah, really. I'm trying to figure it out. What was it? 361 passing yards when we were in Seattle with Andy Dalton. Man, what in the world is going on? 154 rushing yards first week of the year against Atlanta. Bro, I don't. Yeah. We are a mess. We're all over the place. We look great week one. We got the ball to Hayden Hurst. Y'all were talking about that earlier. Week one, we were able to do that. Week one, we were able to rush the ball for 154 yards. I don't know what changed. I really don't understand. I do understand all the screens last week, though. I know y'all talked about that a lot. That's an extension of the passing game, like I was telling Pickle earlier this week. They're using those quick screens to increase Bryce's confidence and get some cheap yards on the offense. It's because we're not really rushing the ball outside of the tackles or outside of the hash marks. Everything's more inside. But it was effective week one. So I'm curious to see what in the world we're going to do against Detroit. Do we continue to take these rookie growing pains and just take our lumps? Because that's what it kind of feels like. Or are we going to make a switch to Andy Dalton? Or are we going to make a switch to Chuba Hubbard? Is the coaching staff going to finally react to the things that we've seen that haven't been effective this far into the season? What do you think, Cody?
Nope.
I don't. Man, I feel like I got to say no. I mean, again, the amount of designed runs that they have with Miles Sanders running directly up the A gaps when their guard positions are playing so abysmally is
terrible.
It's tone deaf. It's tone deaf. Like, how are you this dishonest with yourself about what kind of team you have? I cannot tell you how bad my blood boils every time it's a third down and we're calling a bubble screen.
Facts.
Like on 3rd and 10, we're calling a bubble screen. What are we doing, man?
Go ahead, Pickle.
I'm sorry. Last year we used a lot of fullbacks, backup offensive linemen in our running game. Worked out well. This year we're using Terrence Marshall. We're using Terrence Marshall as a run blocker. We're using
terrible.
We're using what's the other guy we're using? We're not even using LaVista Chenault in the run game. As far as a blocker.
That's what I wanted to say.
And when they line him up as a runner, he'll go get 10 yards.
What did we hear all training?
And then you don't see him for a game.
LaVisca's going to be a Debo type for us. They don't even give Visca the ball.
Right.
They got to find ways.
And by the way, CPG, when they do give him the ball, he's picking up first downs.
Yeah, like that one he got last week that was called back because the offensive line can't go without holding.
Right. If you're gonna throw all these short bubble screens, why not throw it to LaVisca? Why are you throwing it to Adam Thielen, thinking that Adam Thielen's gonna make somebody miss and get upfield?
Cody, this goes back to the point.
In the world.
I mean, earlier I think I asked something that was like, this feels intentional. I mean, they can't be this ignorant of listen. They're an NFL team, billions of dollars, right? We have data, but can you imagine the data that they have? How can they possibly look at this and say, "Oh, let's keep doing the opposite of what is the data is telling us to do"? Like that, it just doesn't make any sense to me. How they can continuously go down the same path.
I think they overthink it. Sometimes.
I don't think they care enough.
Took over, he was like, "We're going to listen to the analytics guys," and it doesn't look like it at all because the analytics show that for one, Miles Sanders is better running to the outside, and Chuba's the better every down back.
Have we talked about how abysmal Chandler Zavala's been?
That too.
Oh, dude,
and all we heard was he's
Garbage.
going to be playing with his college teammate. They're going to do good. They both look terrible.
Oh, and dude, you know what makes me even more mad about that? The number of people that have done nothing but slander Brady Christensen.
Ray Christian, tell him, Cody. Tell him.
Brady Christensen, when he is on the field, is unanimously one of our better offensive linemen.
He's the best pass protector, absolutely, by a long shot.
And he should have been playing left tackle, and Akem Ekwonu should be
left guard. Yep.
I've been saying that forever, man. Let me go to
I know
Raleigh.
you have, Cody.
Let me go to Raleigh. What's up, Raleigh?
I had one idea as far as you were talking about how they're not involving LaVishka, Chenault in it. Why can't we go back to the old, the Wildcat with LaVishka and Hubbard on each side, and you'd have multiple blockers, or you could take and run LaVishka out, or you can hand off to Hubbard, and it would open it up and confuse the defense.
You know what? I hear you, Raleigh, and it's not a terrible idea, but the fact that the Panthers' offense is so inept that we're having to consider the Wildcat quarterback, bro, that's a sad state of affairs.
Well,
right
I
now.
mean, it would at least protect our quarterback a little bit more and confuse the defense a little bit more also.
In certain scenarios, yeah.
We got to establish the run game because the run sets up the pass, and it's going to help Bryce. They just
which we can
run the ball.
Yeah, we clearly can't run though.
One time.
Miles up the A gap. Miles up the A gap.
I've not seen a split back one time.
If I may say something about LaVista Chenault.
Yeah, right.
And not LaVista Chenault. I'm sorry, Chandler Zavala. Chandler is a third round pick, rookie.
Yep.
And I don't know, a lot of you may not remember this. When we drafted Taylor Motrin as a third round rookie, we actually played him a little at guard, and he was awful. So you know what they did? They actually they planned to bench him for a few games, and they did. And he was a backup until the right tackle broke his leg. And that was the position he played in college. So they went ahead and let him play right tackle, and he turned out to be real good because he never lost his job. So
yeah,
and I remember way back when we had other third round rookies when we drafted Trey Turner. He started as a rookie on the right side, but he struggled a little bit. But they would bench him. They would rotate a different offensive lineman in their offensive lineman.
They did.
And they rotated a little bit here and there in the middle of the games. That way he wasn't after for the whole game. He didn't feel pressure and he could think about it. And I understand Chandler's a rookie. The worst thing you can do is see him struggle and leave him out there. Because
his confidence goes down.
I mentioned this on Space,
right.
And I think I mentioned this on the film room, and I'll mention it here. To tell me there's no other option is incompetency. And
Right.
that's my nicest word I can think for it. Because you have Ricky Lee, Nash Jansen, you have David Sharp, you have Dave Mays. That's just on the regular roster. On the practice squad, you have Justin McCray and Dante Brown and J.D. DiRenzo. And there's also former Panther Andrew Norwell and L.L. Collins available in free agency. For a job.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear the fact they can't do it. The simple fact is they're not, and I'll just use this, they're not intelligent enough to see that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Because
that, and I don't think they care.
And if you remember correctly, Chandler Zavala called Scott Fitterer up and said, "Hey, don't forget me, draft me." And Scott did.
Hey, but you know what? That's on all of our coaches, Pickle. That's
You're right.
That's on James Campen. Who Panther fans routinely sing the praises of. That's on.
I thought Campen was supposed to be this groundbreaking.
That's on Thomas Brown. That's on Thomas Brown as well. for being the
That's on
offensive
Jim
coordinator.
Caldwell.
Right, and
Yeah, that's on
How in the
Caldwell.
hell do you
You're
make
right.
Matt Rule's staff look more competent for 4 games?
Oh, it's embarrassing.
That's terrible.
If I'm a rookie next year and I want drafted, I'm gonna get Scott Fitterer's number and I'm gonna dog him.
Call him.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
dog him 50 times a day,
Better than
if
right.
not more. On draft day, I'm gonna send him a zillion texts. Draft me, draft
Get my
me,
family
draft
to
me.
call him.
Because he's
Me
already
next,
proven
me
if
next.
you tell him to draft you, he will.
All right, let me
Like,
go.
oh
let me
yeah,
go-
we're gonna make Icky happy and draft
Yeah,
his
look,
buddy.
look, look, look.
Yeah,
Let me go to
come
my
on,
man
bro. That ain't
Don.
good business.
Let me
That's
go to
not
my
good
man
business.
Don Diesel Skills, and then I want to ask y'all a question. Go ahead, Deez.
No, I was just chiming in with Pickle there. To be honest, I agree with him 100%. What's interesting to me is what we're going to see develop with this coaching staff through the end of the season. Okay, the first quarter of the season is over. We've got 3 quarters left to go, so there's a lot left to be seen. Is this coaching staff going to make any kind of response to what we've seen so far? Are they going to continue to dig this hole? And I'm really interested to see how this plays out. It's absolutely horrible for the Panthers, but I guess it's great for a show and podcasting. Cody, how about
Yeah.
you?
Oh man, dude, it's great for a pod when everybody's angry and wants to talk about how pissed off they are at this team. So look, I'm gonna ask y'all this final question, and D, since I'm on you, I'm gonna start with you on this. I'm gonna ask this to y'all, then I'm gonna get everyone's predictions, and then we're gonna get out of here for the day. But we're talking about Jerry Judy. Benjamin Albright has reportedly said that he believes a second round and a 4th round pick would be what it takes to get Jerry Judy, but a 3rd would also get the deal done. So my question to you, and I'll start with you, Deez. Right now, would you give up a 3rd round pick to go get Jerry Judy and add him to our offense for the foreseeable future?
Like I said earlier in the show, Cody, I think we should have already let go of our general manager, Scott Fitterer. And to be honest, it's okay. I guess we've got a rookie owner, to be honest. And he didn't know exactly when to let the general manager go, but he should have let him go with Matt Rule, and then we could have started fresh. But that's not the case. So to save his job, let's go ahead and get Jerry Judy for a 3rd round pick is fine with me, and he'll be our wide receiver 2 for the future. We still need to find our number 1 in free agency and let our Adam Thielen be our 3rd. So yes, I would say a 3rd round pick for Jerry Judy would be fantastic. How about you guys?
A 3rd, I wouldn't be mad, but at the same time, can we at least get like a 5th or a 4th out of Denver?
I agree with what D said. I believe a 3rd is fine. I mean, he'd be our number 1 wide receiver in the league besides Thielen. I mean,
Denver's been on a very similar path as us since Super Bowl 50. They also have the Walmart family as their new owners, and
that is true.
They apparently are as incompetent as David Tepper.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they hired Sean Payton, and I love whenever he fails. And he's been but you know what? Another thing that I hate is because of Super Bowl 50. Dude, I don't want to give the fucking Broncos no draft picks.
Yeah, I hate
I would love to have Jerry Judy, but I do not want to do anything for Denver and Sean Payton, dude.
I hope Denver sucks for the next decade.
Oh, same.
I mean,
I think it's done and over with now, dude. There ain't even no Bronco players still there that was in Super Bowl 50, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, you might.
That's just me.
I still hate the Patriots from 2003, man. So hey,
yeah, I hear you.
Oh, I hate Tom Brady. I don't hate the Patriots. I hate Tom Brady.
Well, hold on, one more
hey,
note on Jerry.
Cody
Jerry showed he can play all 3 positions. He can play out of the slot, the X, and the Z. I think in that Frank Reich system, he would be a really good fit. Carolina is sniffing around on Jerry Judy.
I like how they said sniffing.
Can I add? Can I add?
Yeah, Pickle and Cole.
Yeah. In 20, he's played in 4 seasons. They've All right, he does have, but next year it's the 5th-year option, I think it is, and they've already picked it up. So we'd have him for the 5th-year option. That's it. But
Did they play
in
in natural
2020
grass?
he played. In 2020 he played all 16 games. In 21 he played 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
In his rookie season he had 3 touchdowns. In 22 he played in 15 games, and he was a healthy inactive for 2 games.
Do they
He
play on
had
natural
6
grass in Denver?
touchdowns. Yeah, just so far this year, his games played are 3, and he was inactive for a game because he's injured. He's
If
still
he was
injured
getting
for that
injured
game.
on natural grass, he's going to get injured a lot on that turf. Tepper's
Yeah,
Exactly.
boy, it seems like everyone that plays for the
he's
Panthers,
injured now. He's got a hamstring he's fighting through now.
everyone
So
who
Bring
plays
back the
for the
natural
Panthers
grass,
ends up
Tepper.
getting hurt.
yeah, so you imagine you bringing him here. Granted, he'll be closer to. I'm assuming I don't know where he actually lives, but he'll be closer to Alabama. So maybe that'll help him. His whatever. Maybe it won't. I'm just throwing an idea out. But reality is, do you think playing on this turf, he's all of a sudden going to be healthier?
No,
I think he's still be our best wide
I do
receiver
have
besides Adam Thielen.
I have to think about that. But as far as trading him for a third, well, it depends on who. If Scott Fitterer's selecting our draft picks next year, why not?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Pickle.
That is all I was going to
But
tell
let me
you.
ask,
That's what I will say, Cole.
So
let me let Cole go, and then I want to break it to y'all a certain way. Go ahead, Cole.
That was the main thing I was going to say, Cody, is with Scott Fitterer making that pick in the 3rd round, we are not going to draft a wide receiver with the capability of Jerry Judy. Like,
Right.
we need him in our offense. And I said that earlier
At
in
all.
the show. We're not even doing this move for right now. You have to go ahead and get Bryce set up with some weapons in the future if you want to
For
succeed.
next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
None of the staff is probably even going to make it to that point. So this move is really just for us and setting it up for the next regime. I really do feel like if we don't pick this shit up very, very soon.
Yeah.
He makes a good point because look at who Fitterer took in the 2nd round this year. A guy who can't catch the ball to save his life.
Can't get open either, really.
Yeah, he can't create separation. He can't hold on to the. He couldn't catch COVID if he was around in a room full of
Damn.
Well, all right. So since you bring it up, CPG, my question to you is this, right? A lot of us know that we have other holes on the team, right? We need another linebacker, corner. We have other things. It feels like a desperation move to save Fitterer's job. So I can understand why people don't want to make that trade. But on the other hand, right, you're leaving Bryce Young on an island to die by himself and continue to ruin his confidence if you have no players that are doing their job down the field. Because ultimately what's going to happen is, yes, there will be moments when Bryce will miss, but it will compound itself when there are no players that are routinely getting open. It messes up Bryce's rhythm. It messes up the rhythm of the offense. At what point do the Panthers have an obligation to get him some kind of help?
I'm not
Because
against.
it really does feel like they have to add something to this receiving core, man, because there are no real dog wide receivers on this team right now.
I mean, I'm
Especially
not against
going
trading a
forward in the
third
future.
for
That's the
Judy.
scary part.
I'm not against trading a third for Judy, but at the same time, what are we going to do about the lack of draft picks for the next year or so?
You might as well piss them all away at this point. So I really.
I mean, we can't draft them anyways, especially if
Yeah.
Scott
Right.
Fitterer's the GM.
We're going to have
I
to
mean,
hit in free
fuck 'em.
agency. We're going to have to hit in free agency this offseason.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to overpay.
And we have to
them,
overpay.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we got
gonna
to
have
overpay
with that,
too.
if they're worth it.
I mean, once you get down a crap hole, that's just what it is. I mean, I'm just going to be bluntly honest, and please, I'm not going to use any names. When growing up, I grew up a lot of my childhood in West Virginia. Okay, to be honest. Okay, and sometimes you would move, and my grandma had an old house. This is the truth, and they would often tear it down and move it because the hole would be full. And I had a cousin once fall in there, and they never got him out. And
Damn.
it was sad because he really almost died. But anyway, all that being said, once you get in a crap hole, you can't get out. That's what the Panthers are in right now with their draft. We're in a crap hole.
Yeah.
We've went too many years and not had any Saturday. When I say Saturday, I'm talking 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th pick work.
Ever.
When you do that, you have to start relying, because that's your core special teamers. That's the guy that you're coming in. You look at a lot of these teams and you say, wow, I've never heard of that dude, but he's showing out. But you look at him and you figure out what he's been. He's been on there for about 2 or 3 years. The difference is he's a late round pick and he's been on special teams or been a backup, and he's developed where he's at. You can't develop them if you don't have them. And you go sign these 28, 29-year-old guys to play special teams, you're not developing anybody. Greg Hardy spent 2 years on practice, or 2 years as a backup before he became a starter. Mario Addison, I forgot that boy's name. Mario Addison was signed off the practice squad of the Colts, and we had him 3 years on the practice squad, and they originally told him he was too small to play defensive end, and he told Ron, he said, at least give me an opportunity. All I want is an opportunity. If I fail, I'll go stay on special teams. Just give me that opportunity. Should I not be at least given an opportunity? And Ron agreed with him and gave him an opportunity, and he took that bitch and run with it.
And he showed out. Yep.
And you if you don't have depth, if you keep missing out draft picks, you're never going to get where you want to be. You may get a starter. You may have a starter, elite, quality, good. You may have a starter, but as soon as that starter has issues, you're right back to peg one. You've got to have good depth.
Say what you will about
good depth through the draft.
Even when we suck,
Baylor and Temple players want good depth.
No.
Nope. So first and foremost, you got to find somebody who can draft. You got to find somebody with the experience drafting good. And I never understood the Scott Fitterer hire, because in reality, other than one draft class, the Seahawks were never good drafting. I mean, I don't think it was Clowney. It might have been somebody else. But somebody they gave up for 2 first-round picks and a couple backup players to the Texans for on his last year of his rookie contract.
I think it was
the
Clowney.
very last year, because he was holding out for money. So he went up to Seattle and he played for 1 year. Then he went free agency again, and they lost all their. I mean, you can't draft. I mean, first and most, you got to find a team that drafts good. Then you take one of their guys. For example,
we've never drafted good.
For example,
they
the
hyped
Eagles.
us up. They hyped Fitterer up to us as the guy behind the Legion of Boom, which is a lie.
And that's a good lesson. That's really a good lesson. And I said it earlier. We all, especially young folks, and me too, because I followed that hype for a little while, but I've never liked Fitterer. But
initially I did. I ain't gonna lie and say I didn't.
From here on out, don't let them hype anybody up. And now come free agency in the draft, we'll see who can realize that or not. Do your own research. Look at your own studies. Don't hype these folks up. And remember, if the GM and the head coach and the owner has to tell you how good they are, they're probably not that good.
Yeah, this whole fan base, do not buy the media hype if they do it again this offseason.
At all.
Do not buy it at all.
Do not buy it.
No.
Until they prove it in a football game, we don't believe it.
Right. I called out some of the local media recently for overhyping these players when they did. And trust me, folks, I've heard about it on private messenger on Twitter. But I stand my ground. I said, you did.
I tell fuck them.
I didn't mean it as a personal attack, but there is evidence all over the internet. You hyped these folks up. If you're mad because I called you out because you did it, that's on you, not me.
I would rather
next time, don't overhype these players up.
I'd rather the local media treat the Panthers the way they treat the Hornets and barely talk about them.
Right.
Yeah. I would. Well, but you know what? That's
I
a
love
great
the
point.
Hornets. I'm a Hornets fan, but that's the way they treat the Hornets.
They
But you know what? That's a great point. Now that the Panthers traded up for the #1 overall pick, traded our pick to the Bears, and by the way, our pick as of right now, you can look it up, is the number 1 pick in the draft. Okay,
And I bet you Caleb Williams don't go to Chicago.
We don't
We're the last
even
winless team in
Yeah,
the league.
Yeah, we're the last winless team in the league. All of our players are thriving elsewhere. And you have this billionaire waving his junk around, talking about how great he wants the Panthers to be. And
Talking about
literally
money.
every
Talking about money.
decision that he has ever made as the owner of the Carolina Panthers has come back to bite him on the ass, dude.
Or
And let me
basement
tell you,
dwellers.
And look, and I'll say this, and this is my last thing, is that it looks even hard. I am not giving up on Bryce, right? But the more CJ Stroud continues to break records, like right now, CJ Stroud is on track to break the rookie passing yard record by 700 yards.
And he has no interceptions either, Cody. None. He has no interceptions.
CJ wouldn't have done as well here. CJ would have struggled here
But
too.
also remember,
Yeah,
all these former Panthers that are showing out and studying out and looking great, go back and do your research to find out who drafted them, what GM drafted them, what head coach was here when they were drafted. That'll
The
tell
only
you a
thing
lot.
I got to say about that pickle is, as much as people hate Marty Herney, and I understand the hate towards Herney, Herney has drafted some of the greatest Panthers in
Did he draft Luke
my
Kuechly and Cam Newton?
My friend,
Yes,
I'm going to be
Marty
honest.
Herney
and some
drafted
people-
Cam Newton.
Okay, then he's the best
some
GM that
people
we've ever
will
had.
Some people will not agree with me. I miss Marty Herney.
I do too.
Ain't that sad, Pickle? That's sad, though, ain't it?
You knew where Marty's bad was.
Marty hit in
Marty
the
knew
first
where
round,
Marty's
but he
bad
was
was.
ass after
Yeah,
the first
but I
round.
hate when we do this, man.
I know.
I
We
agree,
do
dude,
the,
but we're going to.
I miss Matt Rule. I miss Marty Herney.
No, wait a minute. Who said they missed Matt Rule?
At the
I
same
don't
time,
miss
at the
Matt
same time, Marty Herney drafted players like
Matt Rule like I
Sione
miss
Fula.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying, right? Like I'm not saying that any one
Rose-colored
of
glasses.
I'm not saying that any one of you are saying that, but it's like we do this shit where, you know, because our current crop is so bad that we wish for the old ex-girlfriend back that treated us like shit.
I just want to see a Super Bowl before I die.
But she still felt good, Cody. She still felt good, Cody.
Oh man, but
Can we win a
Panther
Super
fans be
Bowl
white
before I
Panthers.
die? That's all I want, bro. That's
yeah,
all I
man.
want.
Hey, hold on. Riley has his hand up. Let me go to Riley, and then and Riley. As a matter of fact, we're gonna do this. Riley, give me what you're gonna say, and then give me your predictions for the Panthers against the Lions, buddy.
All right. What I was saying is we're supposed to have quite a bit of overhead left for next year, and if we trade away Brian Burns, how much more are we going to save to be able to pick up other free agents in the market come next year? And on top of it, we only have a few draft picks, so why would we trade our draft picks away to begin with? I understand everybody's hard on Fitter or whatever, but you know what? His hands are tied so much right now, as far as I'm concerned. And as far as the game, as far as Detroit, I think it's going to be pretty close. I really do. I think it might be like a 21-17 game, something like that. And I'm hoping it's on the Panthers in on the 21, but more than likely it's going to be the Detroit.
All right, Detroit Lions. I hear you, man. I hate to hear it, but it feels that way, man. It definitely does.
You got to pray
hey,
for me given Sunday.
I know, man. Kyle, my homie from Charlotte Sports One. Hey, y'all do me a favor, man.
The Hornets fan.
Y'all do me a
That's
favor.
right.
Bro. Kyle has been putting in work over on his YouTube channel.
Absolutely has.
Y'all need to look this man up and bless him with that subscribe button, man.
I was about to say, put your link in the chat or something.
Yeah, my man's doing
I will.
work.
I will.
Charlotte,
Join his show too.
It's Charlotte
Yeah.
Sports One.
You
Y'all
talk
check
Hornets
out
too?
my man Kyle. Kyle, you know we appreciate you on the free for all, brother. Tell me what you're feeling, man. Give me your final thoughts and Panthers versus Lions. How you feeling?
Man, blessed for all the love and support, guys. I just keep trying to, give everybody what they want, and that's another space to just talk about our her-ass feelings,
Just keep grinding, my guy.
But no, catch me on Charlotte Sports 1, and we're putting out Panthers and Hornets content every week on Wednesday at 8. As far as this game, I hate to be a hater, bro, but I don't see us winning this, and I think it could be by 10 points. I'm gonna go 34-24, Detroit.
All right, 34-24, Detroit Lions. You hate to hear it, but I don't blame you.
I hate to say it, Cody. I tell you.
I know, man. Hey, man, shout out to my guy CPG for joining the show. CPG, you also have YouTube, right, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Shout out your channel. Tell them where they can find you, bro.
If you just want to go in, YouTube's got the handles now. So if you just go in the search and type at Carolina Panthers guy, that's me.
All right, at Carolina Panthers guy. I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, man. And then give me your final predictions for this week, man. Panthers and Lions.
I think it's got all the fucking excuse my language, but I think it's got all the possibilities of being a very ugly game, bro. I'm praying any given Sunday we might play spoiler, but I think Detroit's hot and we're still trying to figure it out. I would guess 31-14 maybe.
31-14. By the way, are y'all also factoring in that they're probably going to be without their two best wide receivers too?
They ain't ruled out yet either, though, Cody. They ain't been ruled out.
Right. They haven't been ruled out, but I've heard that they're doubtful. And if they're doubtful, that means that they're not 100% even when they're
doubtful
playing.
Usually means they
limited snaps.
Against our corner, bro, it could take a guy it wouldn't take nothing. They can be missing an arm and still be better than what our corners are.
Sometimes these corners, but have not been even playing well against the second team. So
yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. All right, so yeah, give me your predictions, CPG. Oh yeah, you said 14. What was your final prediction?
31.
I think it was 31-14.
Yeah, 31-14. All right, so yeah, man. I mean, the fact that they're going to be out that many people, and we still don't believe the Panthers can pick up a dub, dude. That's rough, man. Let me go to my man, the stats. Stats, I appreciate you for joining me again, man. Tell them where they can find you, anything you want to plug, and then let us know your predictions for the Lions and Panthers.
I appreciate that. I don't have anything particular to plug yet. I do have a website. I'm working on. I'm not comfortable to share it just yet, but
all right, no problem.
It will have all the statistical models that I've been talking about. All that will be broadcasted live and in real time, and you can use it for free. So I'll have that up soon, and you guys can use it. And I have my own models I'm adding to it too. But I will say, I wanted to touch on one small thing. I'll take a minute amount of time here. Well, let me just give it the prediction first. So I think it goes one of two ways. I think the more likely way this is going to break down is that the defense plays decently well and holds us in the game. I think the offense does the exact same thing it's been doing. And they don't run very much. But then after the game, Reich says that we have to run the ball more, which contradicts the entire plan that he has been calling. And we lose. The model says we have a 24% chance, 25% chance to win the game. So I'll say we lose the game 21-17. And that might be higher. We might be even less than 17 points than for that anyways. And I'll hold the other thoughts for another time. I was just going to say things like for the Jerry Judy trade, it doesn't make sense because, well, I did say I was going to hold him, didn't I? I can hold him for another time. I don't have to see him now. It's okay.
That's right. If you want to, the floor is yours. It's up to you, man.
I'll be really, really quick about it. We have offensive line upgrades that need to happen, apparently. We still need some type of wide receiver one. We don't even know if we did make that trade, if he would even fill that role the way we need it. But even if he did come in to play that role, we still have questions about whether or not the play calling is going to execute well enough to have him here anyway. Then we have defensive players that we need for cornerback and for pass rushing. And I think you mentioned linebacker in that case. Then, I think we need to play with what we have, tweak the calls to benefit us in the moment now. We need to experience this season as a learning curve for everyone, because there's a lot of people where you go back and look at the film like you did, and shout out to the film session that you did, the 22 yesterday.
Yeah, all 22 available on the channel now every Thursdays, man.
It's worth a watch, and you can see
Absolutely.
firsthand there's some passes that Bryce could have very much made. There's like blocking assignments that are just clearly like, I'm sorry, this is NFL. Did you seriously not know where you needed to be in that play?
Yeah.
Embarrassing stuff all around from like so many different players. We need to find leadership roles. Apparently there's not enough leadership, and that's a huge fucking deal. I keep making the joke that we call Cam back, but not just to play, but really more or less just to be there for Bryce to be like hang out together and teach him what a leader looks like. And that's a whole nother thing I won't even get into because I know how much that. And people need to lose egos. People in power need to lose some egos. And I'll leave it at that. There's a lot more you can get in on all those topics later, but I'll stay with it like that.
All right, Stats. I appreciate you, man. Great stuff. Stats
Thanks,
has always
guys.
got the numbers, man. Stats is the man. Next up, I'm gonna go to my homie Jake the Snake. Jake, talk to
Hell
me,
yeah.
man. Give me your predictions for this game, homie.
All right, so I'm definitely picking Detroit to beat us because there ain't nothing on film that I've seen that Carolina should win this game. I'm picking Detroit to win 24-17. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we gotta do, man. It's so frustrating. Like, I'm definitely gonna watch the game. No matter what happens, we can lose every game this year. I'm always gonna be a Panthers fan, but it's just I hate to see it. But I appreciate you having me on, Cody. I appreciate everything you do, the film breakdown, Pickle, these reels, everybody. I appreciate all y'all, man.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you, man. Hey, every one of y'all that comes on, y'all make the show. We wouldn't have a show if y'all don't come on and hang out with us. So we definitely appreciate y'all, man. This next man, he joined us on the film room. He was incredible. He'll be back on the film rooms. He's also on the spaces with Pickle and D's every Monday at 6:30, every Thursday at 6:30. These boys are putting in work everywhere. It's my guy, Cole. Cole, tell me your final predictions for the Panthers and Lions, bro. Cole, you there? Cole. We might have to.
Man, the passed out. Not Cole, not my boy. He's asleep.
No. I was on mute. My phone was across the room.
That's what he was doing, y'all. That's what he was doing.
My man, you and your girlfriend can do whatever you want to do after you say goodbye.
He was running with the beer in his hand. Oh shit! My turn.
Nah, his girlfriend's his right hand, Pickle.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, it was whatever satisfying.
No,
Cole.
I'm too old to mess with y'all right now.
I believe you said that you had something you were saving for the end of the show.
Yes.
So
yes.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Yes.
Now's your moment,
it's time.
bro.
It's time, man. I'm gonna do this just to break trend, and hopefully this will let the Panthers win because damn sure we need it. One or two things happen. One or two things happens to me per year, and if the Panthers lose again on Sunday, what would that be? 6 losses in a row? 5? How many would it be?
It'd be 5. It'd be 5, Cole.
I am not going to chop all of my hair off because it's pretty long right now, but I will cut it as close as I can with scissors to try to break this losing streak. We're going to
Don't say that, Cole. Don't say that, Cole.
Pull out all stops to get out of it.
Don't make that bet, Cole.
I'm making a hair bet, Cody.
No, Cole. Cole, don't do it, Cole.
A hair bet, Cody.
Please don't. I wish I did cut mine, bro. Don't do it.
Wait. So let me say everything you got to say, man. You're making a hair bet.
I'm putting a hair bet on I'm putting my hair on the line that we have to win Sunday.
So you're saying if the Panthers don't win
Yes.
This Sunday,
Yes.
you're going bald?
No, not
Or a buzz
bald.
cut.
No,
Buzz cut?
not even a buzz cut. I'm gonna go just very, very short with scissors. You gotta realize
Flat
I got long ass curls and shit right
Yeah,
now.
I don't even blame, bro. You see my shit, bro. I ain't never.
Now,
Nah, he got that Jon Snow hair.
Yeah.
Look at
You gotta
Cody.
have this on video. You've got to do this on video.
No.
What's your
all right. I'll do a quick little something because I'm
You gotta do it, Cole. You
My
gotta
shit's
do
so
it.
long, I'm not doing it myself.
But either that,
I'm not
or
at Diesel skills level. I'm a little bit behind him.
We gotta
you know
see
what
a
I'm saying?
before
I'm
and
in
after
between
picture,
Cody and skills
Cole.
right now.
We gotta see a before after picture, though.
Oh,
Cole.
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. Give us a before and after picture at least.
Hey, look, and my ass ain't too crazy. And you give me about 3 or 4 months, it'll be right back to the length
Oh
it's
yeah,
in
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So it's
yeah,
all
yeah.
good.
Hey, you're a
But
braver
yeah,
man. Hey,
I'm
you're a
desperate,
braver
man. I gotta
than
get,
me,
I gotta
bro.
get out of this losing streak, Cody. I'm ready to pull out all stops, whatever it takes for the family. I'm ready to get out of it,
bro. If it takes a hair bet by you to get us a W, bro, you're a brave man, and I appreciate your service, my brother.
I'm all for the cause, brother. I'm here.
Cheers to that.
That man is
Did I give you
down
my score? I didn't
for
even
the
give you my score,
cause.
did
No,
I?
you haven't
No,
given a
not
score
yet.
yet.
Give me a score, bro.
I guess the Panthers got to win now, but I was about to pick us to lose. I'll go 23. I'll keep the score 23-20 Panthers.
23-20 Carolina Panthers. All right, man. Winning by a field goal, but a win is a win.
My man's about big
no
bald.
matter
I
what.
don't know about bald.
I appreciate it, bro. Next up, you know him, you love him. He's been known to
Lord
tell you to
Jesus.
shut the hell up. Is my man Panther Pickle. Give me your final prediction for the Panthers and Lions, and just your final thoughts in general, man.
I just don't got no hope left, boys. I've been a Panther fan longer than most of you been alive. Not most, some of you been alive. I know JJ ain't been on here tonight, and Anthony was on here for a short time. They're just a little over 20 years old. I was
checking on
watching,
JJ.
I was watching Panther football at 20 years old. Well, maybe not by 20, 20 years ago. And I've been watching football longer than the Panthers have existed. So understand that I'll always watch and I'll always be a Panther fan. Because I was a Panther fan before there was a Carolina Panther. And I tell you, as much as it hurts, 40-0. I don't think there was anything in that between.
Damn.
I don't think the coaches are as smart as I wanted them to be. Maybe I hope I'm wrong.
You said 40-0?
If we lose 40-0, every single one of them should be fired immediately.
Absolutely, Cole. There should be no fires.
People are going to be at Bank of America Stadium with torches and pitchforks.
Hell yeah, fire some
Nah, Cody, you say that, but they're gonna sell their
And I'm
tickets
gonna
to
be right in the
opposing
front line
fans.
of that shit, Cody.
No,
Well,
you're right. You're right. You're
but
right.
why
you're
not?
Right, you're right. You're right.
Why
about
not? I mean,
that,
why
man.
not? I mean, if David Tepper don't want to put no more than he's put into it, and he can't, and all he can hire is folks that make him feel all fuzzy inside, then why not?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some of the worst. Jerry Richardson wasn't the smartest man in the world. He wasn't the greatest owner, but he would often do things that he cared and he knows was the right thing. He never put turf down because he knew as a player how rough it was to play on turf. And he said football should be played on real grass. Okay, now I've often criticized him because he didn't have a practice squad facility, an indoor practice facility of any sort. So that was ignorance on his part. But he also believed that football should be played in the weather. And if you practice in the weather, then you can play in the weather.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I hear you, man. Well, Pickle, I appreciate you as always. And by the way, I wanted to highlight this comment from you, my boy Blue. He says, "Good night, y'all. Good show as always. It's nice to have somewhere to vent. I ain't got any other Panther friends here down in Atlanta." And bro, that's the whole point of C3, man. It's for Panther fans to be able to congregate with one another and talk Panther football, man. And that's what we've been doing. So I definitely appreciate the kind words And last but never least, it's the brand ambassador himself. Now, I normally leave him for last because he's like a beacon of hope. You know, he'll say something to get people believing. Now, Don, I don't want to make you be hopeful if you're not feeling hopeful. But I know you always knock it out of the park with your final words. So, as always, to end the show, my man D's, give me your final words. And what is your score prediction for the Panthers and Lions?
I don't know. This has been a very wild ride. You know, we traded up for the number 1 pick. We felt good about everything in training camp going into this season. We went to our preseason games. It looked horrible. Panthers fans started to get really worried and concerned. We've been through our first 4 games. We've been competitive. We go back to week 1. We had a great rushing attack. We got the ball to the tight end effectively, like I was talking about earlier in the show. We look a competent offense, but yet we turned the ball over with some rookie mistakes, right? Rookie mistakes, lost the game in week 1. We move on to week 2. We play the Saints. Great. Everybody said it was a must-win game against the Saints. We lost by 3 points. I mean, the Saints are probably the best team in the division. I don't know if you guys have bought into Tampa Bay yet. I know Tampa Bay was able to defeat the Saints, but you know, the situation is with the Panthers, we split with the Falcons and the Saints every year. Like, it's rare to get a sweep like we did last year over the Saints. I'm not impressed from that Derek Carr offense. I think we're okay, even with the injuries. Jameson gives me hope for these Panthers. YGM has shown more hope than I've seen from him in his entire career this season. So I'm excited about that as well. There's no reason to completely give up on us. We're missing Shaq. We're missing J.C. Horn. That defense has still been effective. We can't stop the run for anything. But me and Pickles spent all preseason trying to figure out what was going on with the nose tackle position anyway. Looks like the Panthers don't know either. And that's what the interesting part of this coming up is what is the coaching staff going to do? Is this all-star coaching staff set up by the Carolina Panthers and billionaire Dave Tepper going to make any response to what we've seen so far to this offense in the season? He was at practice today. So what's going to happen on Sunday? Is there some pressure being put on by the ownership? Are we going to see something different from this offense? I think Bryce Young has just turned the ball over. That fumble against the Vikings was a loss right there, just a fumble. And it's because the offensive line is playing horrible. He's under duress. And I don't know if you watched the game versus the Vikings. In the game, he's trying to win the game. Adam Thielen's wide open. Bryce Young's got happy feet. He's scared to death. He thinks he's going to get murdered back there. Like I said, the offensive line is historically bad. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect against Detroit, but I know that Detroit can run the football. We've been very ineffective running the football. I wish the Panthers would just take a moment and look back at Sam Mills, who was undersized and not big enough to be an all-star linebacker, but yet he found a way to keep pounding and be a great player, just like Adam Thielen has done so far this season. Even though he doesn't have the physical abilities, he's found a way to work hard and have an effective season. And that's what the Panthers need to do right now. They need to gut up and keep pounding, and let's find a way to beat Detroit. And I'll take us 28-26, and we're going to keep pounding. Let's go, C3.
Let's go.
Damn, D.
These ill skills. Always bringing the heat. Y'all got to follow that man on Twitter. He's the best Twitter follow among C3, man. He's always posting like these dope gifs and images. Yo, Deez is the man. Deez, you know we appreciate you, brother. Look, man,
Absolutely.
ain't nothing left to do. Y'all ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Y'all know I love y'all, man. This is the C3 Friday.
Don't do us like that.
Yo, man.
Thanks to all those in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Every Friday at 7 p.m., this is the show for Panther fans, by Panther fans. At 30 minutes after every game, C3 will be live doing the post-game show for everybody to be able to vent and react to the latest madness surrounding the Carolina Panthers. And then, of course, Tuesday night at 9, me, Tony, Greg, and CK We're chopping it up for the flagship
what-
Panthers podcast show.
What's the record on the amount of calls that you have ever gotten on a post game?
Oh, dude, I think we've gotten like close to 50.
It's got to be this year.
I know. Last year we had a ton.
Oh, last year, really?
Like last year, we were limiting the amount of calls. That last year, and we're probably going to do it again this year. We limit the number of calls you can have to 1, because if everyone has duplicates, everybody's going to be
Right.
True. It's
going long as hell.
Here's the challenge to all C3 members. Let's break the record. Let's give 100 calls on a post game show. Let's go.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, I'm gonna call in. I've never called in. I'll call in.
Yeah, but what the fuck did I do to deserve this, man?
I love it, man. I just want to see
You're a Clifton fan. He said he's a Clifton fan. That's why.
Damn it to hell, bro. This has been the C3 Panthers podcast, the Friday Free for All edition. Nothing but love to Panther Nation. Keep pound.
Keep pounding, y'all. Hell yeah.
Let's go, C3.
Keep pounding, baby.